at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke. Your love life's the old way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been your day, week, your month, even your year. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause I'm there for you too.
The whole system is designed to disconnect you from your intuition. Why? Disconnected people are easy to manipulate. Everything from sunscreen to politics to the food industry. It's all designed to disconnect and manipulate you. We are in the middle of a war right now, but it's not a traditional war. It's a war on consciousness. It's a war on freedom. This is the time to listen, not to the news. No, your intuition, your gut, your heart. Love is the greatest weapon against darkness. How do you love more? You begin by loving yourself. How do you love yourself? You listen to the messages your body is telling you.
Nobody is coming to save you. Get up. Be your own hero.
I just know we found something so wild of the ordinary. You got me kissing the ground when you say you left.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
Gravy make a splash like Pippin. Shit, that's nothing. Splash. Everybody come.
I remember when I lost my mind.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I needed that little chuckle right there. Good to see everybody. Welcome to Sovereign Soul, Unchained Mind. Man, let's see who we got in here tonight. I haven't got anybody backstage yet. Usually Cubby or somebody's here by now, but maybe they just didn't get the notice. I don't know. But wow, you guys are fantastic people. We've got, look at here, we got Lisa Marie Tattersall. Look at here. Good to see you, sweetheart. Seeking Consciousness, David Koresh, Riley Studios, uh, David Koresh, and his Davidians. Don't be dividing us and shit now. Come on. We got Yonder Grovette. I'm going to say it like that. Thank you. It says, I love the vibes it solves. That's why I always come here. You know what? This is incredible because we do have very few trolls, a lot of really good people. Everybody gets along in here. We talk about a whole mess of different things, uncovering the illusions of everything. That's true, man. It's really cool. Let's see who else we got. Four Jacks here today. Gordzilla, Mojo Shop. Good to see you, Mojo. DJ New Moon's with us. We've got Only Up Dudes. Who else we got? Stephanie McGuire, Gordzilla, David Koresh. We got all these. Hold on a second. Guard Hut. I had some peanut butter balls. Godheart Guardian is here with us as well. Bear Jew. The Anunnaki Jew Lizards are coming next month, everyone. There's a big, giant space dookie that's supposed to arrive like in November, and I don't know what's going to happen. They're going to reveal that they're the origins of species or something. They're going to, I don't know. They might try to gaslight us. They're always trying to gaslight us. We got Twilight Nights, next chapter. Jay Heighton, Eldon Bean, Nobody Knows. Shannon Emerson, KK Westbury, Art Akudo. Good to see you, my friend. Haven't seen you in some time, man. One more quarters here. LJ. We got Greg. Greg, thank you so much for your donation. It was so generous. And everyone that donated, I don't like to ask. That's why I just said, just a few bucks here and there, that would be great. And I never ask. I put the ability to do that on the channel and leave that up to you. And I was astonished. You people are the most fantastic. You're so generous, so generous. As most of you probably know, and some of you don't, my dear friend and companion, my dog, Brandy, crossed over the Rainbow Bridge today. It was very peaceful. We waited because she wasn't really suffering. She just couldn't stand. She couldn't do what she needed to do, but I was able to, feed her by hand, and I'd give her water, and I kept her comfortable. And finally, it was an in-home vet that came here today, and it was really so peaceful. She just went. I was holding her when she went, and now I have her buried in the backyard. I've made a really nice little memorial for her that on a patio stone over top of her grave. But when I went to the co-op to get some, I told the boy how many I needed, and he left 2 short. So I have to go back tomorrow and get the last 2 square feet to finish the last little corner of it. So no worries. We'll get that done. And then I saw where Leanne had ordered a thing from Amazon, and it came real fast, where you make a clay footprint and a ink footprint on a pad, and you put it, it's in a frame you can put their picture, and I'm going to put that up in here. So that's where we're at with that. Me physically, I'm feeling really good. I really am. That was a lot of stress. I slept in the living room so I could be near her where she was laying, and I'd get up and move her and flip her, not flip her, but roll her over and stuff every few hours. And I just took care of her all that time and spent the last remaining hours of her existence here with her. And it was great because she was in my arms when she passed. And as it turned out, she had, because the vet, she goes, wow, her stomach. I says, yeah, she's got quite a bit of a pot belly. And, I attributed that to her being an older dog. But come to find out what it was is that there was actually a tumor in there. And she told me this happens, and it comes so fast. You don't even realize what happened. So at least she didn't really suffer a whole lot. And she was happy, and she was around everybody that she loved. When she went, my son was here, Corey, and of course my wife and myself and all the other dogs. And it was so wild because Peanut, she was sitting up on the couch watching everything that was going on. And as soon as Brandy passed, she got like sat up. She like sat up like she knew. It was so crazy. It was really wild. Yeah. Well, anyway, lots going on in the world that I haven't paid any fucking attention to. Everybody's still bitching and complaining about this Charlie Kirk nonsense thing. And like I said before, everybody's searching around for the phantom shooter. I just ran across something earlier where they said, oh, here's proof of a shell ejecting from a palm gun. And I'm like, man, they're just really pushing the narrative, just like they did with Kennedy. Of, no, it was a guy, a shooter from the grassy knoll, blah, blah, blah. All going by the premise, though, in this instance, that some kind of an assassination actually took place. I'm not convinced. I think this was as much theater, if not more embellished, than the Butler, Pennsylvania assassination attempt. I think that was, of course, bullshit as well. We've discussed that before, how you don't just grow back fucking ear cartilage, man. Ask Evander Holyfield about that shit. None of it makes a lick of sense whatsoever. Did I bring those back here? Damn it. No, I did not. I'll have to go back out there and get them here. That's no worries. Oh. Yeah, I fucked up. I fucked up again. That's what I did. And there is a link, of course, pinned up in the chat. Anybody that wants to come on up, anything you want to discuss, hey, by all means, feel free to do that. And what I was going to do is I'm going over here. There's so much crazy shit. Let's explore it together. What the hell, right? What is going on? Oh, okay. So, well, any of you familiar with the cop guy on YouTube, Officer Tatum? That guy, Brandon Tatum, I think is his name. He's a black guy. Oh my God, is this guy like some kind of an Uber Zio, man? He's insane, man. Oh my God. What's going on? Who's all? Is Barbara in here? Is Barbara in here? Did we see? Yes, she is. Hello, Barbara. Good to see you, my dear. Good to see you. See, I was just kind of checking through the chat to see who all's here and joining up, because we got like 109 freaking people watching. This is crazy as hell. But this is the thing, and I've said this before, and I wish, and I know people that are in this boat where they are so illusionized. This thing with Israel, my God, did anybody ever think really that Israel was going to actually abide by a ceasefire? Man, they're still fucking slaughtering people. They're just, I'm about sick of it. I mean, the world's sick of it. And it's like, wow, way to get the whole world down on you, man. For real. Like, I guess 109 one at a time wasn't enough. It's like they want 109 at once. That's kind of fucking sadistic. But right now there's one of the people on X finally says the day is here to watch Christians question everything they've been taught about Israel. And this is kind of interesting. And while this is playing, I'm going to go ahead and grab something out of the front. Look at there. I've done it again. See there? Do you know why? Because I always say, man, I always do that. Now, this is the thing. If you do something and you say that, you'll reaffirm it to yourself in your subconscious, and you will always do that. So I catch myself a lot of times, and I have to say, no, don't. It's told your subconscious that you always do that, and so therefore you will always do it. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? But I got to tell you right now, physically is the best I have felt in weeks. And let me tell you something, y'all. This is what was so really weird. Because I wonder how much of what I was going through was maybe sympathetic to her, unknowingly. Because here's what happened. I've been pretty much my whole body pain-free and everything. Hello, Lowry. Good to see you, my friend. Skeptic. Ken Rotman's here as well. Oh, a whole bunch of people. Lowry. I see you. Four Jacks. Four Jacks, and everybody's here. DL Hill. Anyway, it was really wild. And as I was holding her, I still haven't felt like myself. And I had like a little bit like where I felt distended down here in my lower belly area, right? And this is why it was so wild that that vet told me that this was a tumor that she'd had. And I couldn't figure out why. It wasn't because I had to go to the bathroom or anything else like that. I was like, man, I just don't understand it. And I had it for a while. And I haven't really felt like myself. And as I was holding her, and then they do it as a 3-step stage, where first they're given an anesthetic that kind of relieves them of any pain or anything, and then a sedative, and then they'll just kind of go to sleep, and they're asleep, and then the final shot, and then they finally just drift off. They just stop, and it's not sudden or anything. It's like the last time I had this done with a dog it was like two things. They gave him a thing to relax him and then gave him the other. And there was always still that little like that when they went. And there wasn't that with Brandy. But what was so wild is that when she went, I didn't have that pain in my belly and shit anymore. That distended feeling. I didn't have that anymore. And it was like so crazy because a peace came over me. It's really kind of wild. Kind of wild. Right. Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. Neighbor's dog got out last night and fell in the pool and drowned. It's a tiny dog. Oh man. What's going on? Hey, Lowry. The link's up here. I'm going to play this thing here real quick and go grab something here in the other room. Wait, what's going on here? Oh, there it is. Okay. Whew. Been gone a couple days. Forget how to do every fucking thing. Holy crap. And it might be the peanut butter balls too. I had 3 of them big fuckers too. That's pretty good.
Palestinians have more ethnic and genetic ties to ancient Israel than modern Israelis.
Okay, than modern Israelis.
Yes. So current Israel is not the Israel of the Bible.
Current Israel, the state.
Yes.
Okay.
The people who are native and indigenous to that land actually do have genetic ties to ancient Israel. The people who make up modern day Israel are not from there.
Where are they from?
Mostly Eastern European countries.
Because of I don't know, but like the migration or something that
Yes,
happened?
yeah. This comes from a historical professor, and he is brilliant. The majority of Palestinians are of Jewish descent. The majority of Palestinians, the people who are being annihilated right now, are of Jewish descent and are ethnically more Jewish than the European and American Jews who went and created Israel. So every time a Palestinian is murdered by an Israeli, a person who's more Jewish is murdered by a person who's less Jewish. It's true that the Israeli is practicing Judaism or is a secular Jew. And it's true that those Palestinians who are Christians and Muslims, whose ancestors converted to Christianity and Islam, but it's just a weird, ironic twist that the people who are closer related genetically to ancient Israel are the people who are being annihilated right now.
That is mind-boggling.
Yes, it is.
And that's that's messed up. That is completely messed up.
Palestinians.
Like I said, but it fits in. It ties right in with this Luciferian system that we live under. It is completely 100% the opposite of what is presented to us. Everything. And the more we uncover, the more we see that to be true. Education does the opposite of what you would think that it does. Oh, it's there to make you smart. No, it is not. It is to keep you from being smart. Everything is the opposite Representatives, you're not represented. That's fucking stupid. Israel's represented. We know that. Jesus. These people. Just to give you an idea. Okay, so they're sending they got all these immigrants in Ireland, Sweden and Ireland are being flooded with illegal immigrants, right? It's Jewish revenge. They are behind it. This guy says
Sweden and Ireland
says it. He pretty much says it. It's like, why could somebody be so fucking hateful? What in the hell? Vengeful, you know?
We only have two enemies in Europe at the moment, and this is Sweden and Ireland. My revenge on Sweden is Malmo. We have at least 8, 9 nations who are very friendly to Israel. Most European nations are fair-minded, even if critical. We only have two enemies in Europe at the moment, and this is Sweden and Ireland.
Because they recognize Palestine?
No. This is just a manifestation. The Swedes are always very hostile. We have elections soon, so maybe things will change in Sweden. But the Swedes and the Irish are always very hostile.
How? What do you mean?
Look, the Swedes have this fantasy that they are the people who will tell everybody who's right and who's wrong. And we look at them and say, who the hell are you? Actually, we use stronger language than this, okay, to ourselves. Okay? They're being ridiculous. And they have these perceptions that is... I never
heard that.
Because they support Palestine. See, that's what's fucking messed up. Oh, you're not gonna kiss our ass? Well, we're gonna work it so you end up with a whole bunch of immigrants and shit. And it's just so, it's like revenge, like little children are running the fucking world, man.
My revenge on Sweden is Malmo. You know, this is a place where people can't live anymore, and it's a very major problem, and they really deserve it.
What the fuck? Oh my God. What was that last one I got up? Ken is obviously in Australia, Victoria, Australia, I guess. Got hot summer day here. Yeah, it's getting cool here. First time I've worn shorts in 6 months. It got up to, I guess, about 70 something today. It was pretty warm. It got pretty warm. Warmer than I thought it was going to be, especially for the middle of October. This is it, 15th. This gives us what? When did they say that giant space dookie 31 Atlas is supposed to be here? When is that supposed to be? Anybody know? Who can tell me when the 31 Atlas is supposed to be arriving with the Anunnaki Jew lizards?
We only have two
from Nibiru or whatever the fuck is going on with these people. You guys think they're gonna run the fucking Project Bluebeam on us, man? I think they will. That's right. Why not? It's out there. 23rd. Eldon Bean said they're coming the 23rd. So it's not very much time left before the inevitable alien invasion or enlightenment or whatever the hell it's going to be. Or maybe it's just a giant space turd. We don't know yet. But it seems to be, they say, moving with intelligence. Now, I don't know how they really can tell any of this stupid shit, but we'll go with it. Why not? Sounds fun, right? This Anna Kasparian's like a beast here lately. I kind of like listening to her. It's crazy. I'm not a big fan of the Young Turks or anything. She, again, another actor on the stage. But man, this has been like some beast mode shit. Listen to this.
They're really going to let him. They leveled Gaza. They literally have 10,000 people missing in Gaza right now as we speak, presumed dead, trapped under the rubble. Over the weekend, they recovered over 200 bodies. You want to talk about the IDF protecting innocent human life? Why don't we talk about the Hannibal Directive and how many Israelis the IDF shot and killed on October 7th? This is something that Yoav Gallant, the former military minister for Israel, foreign defense minister, came out and said, that did happen. We would rather not allow Hamas to take these hostages and use them as leverage. By the way, that's the same Yoav Gallant who, after October 7th, said that the Israelis should not negotiate for the release of the hostages and instead engage in a military operation in Gaza, which is what they did. They've leveled the Gaza Strip. There's nothing for these Palestinian people to go home to. And you want to talk about how the Palestinians and Hamas have rejected offers for a two-state solution after the clean break memo, after Netanyahu made abundantly clear that he would not allow for the formation of a Palestinian state, after the fact that every effort at creating a two-state solution was undermined by the Israelis. They don't want a two-state solution. The Likud's founding charter pursues the Greater Israel Project. They want that land. They're going to pursue that land. They're going to steal that land. And look, I am hoping that there will be lasting peace. But I'm also smart enough to pay close attention to what's going on in Israeli media. And based on what's being said in Israeli media, it does not appear as though there's going to be a lasting ceasefire. And I'm worried about that. So look, Shabbos can sit here and lie about how, oh, it's all Hamas's fault and the wonderful, precious, innocent Israeli government has only done the right thing and only the right thing. But that's just not true. They have committed war crimes. The IDF has committed atrocities that I never thought I would ever see in my lifetime. I thought humans had evolved past that kind of disgusting war crime behavior. And so to talk about how, like, oh, everything is so great, and Israel, we're going to go ahead and launder their reputation after the atrocities that they committed, after the genocide they carried out. And by the way, the continued atrocities that are currently taking place in the West Bank, I'm not going to sit here and stand for that. It's disgusting.
And this is what colonialism brings. This is what colonialism brings. You understand? We've, if you, I was thinking as she was talking, if you were to replace Palestinians with indigenous Americans and replace IDF with United States Army cavalry, it's the same fucking story. These people were manifest destiny. What was that? What is manifest destiny? That was providence, that God had promised this land to them. So what? When I missed that, but that's what it was. And then they sold it by saying, well, look, these people don't believe the same way as you do, and they're godless heathens, and you gotta, you know,
You're really gonna let
not be. It's fucked up, man. It's the same thing. You know, we starved them out. We used germ warfare. We committed war crimes and atrocities, committed genocide, man. There's not. It was ethnic cleansing of the West, and you know, I'm not saying that makes it okay at all, but you know, this whole country was founded under basically a Kabbalistic form of Judaism, formed up in 1776 for the Goyim. Okay, and that's where we're at. Is it any surprise? In 1492, what's the rest of that poem? Everybody thinks Columbus sailed the ocean blue, right? But in 1492, Spain expelled all the Jews. Where'd they go? There's a bunch of them came here. To colonize. You understand? A land of their own. They don't teach you that. Oh, this guy's fucking eye bugged out, like not bugged out, it lizarded out. See, he's probably in communication with the Anunnaki Jew lizards from Nibiru. Look at this eye over here on his left side, on your right side. We're going to show that this is Ari Melber on MSNBC on 10/14, which I guess that was yesterday, right? Yeah. Now, here's the thing. I almost forgot about it, but I knew this girl in school when I was young that had eyes like that. Ain't that crazy? I mean, it was like they were like she had like double pupils on each eye, but it looked like a cat's eye. She might have been she might have been one of those lizard people, you know what I'm saying? What do we got? Yes, I know. That's I agree, Wendy. Freaking lizards. Got a human suit on that demon. You know, here's the thing I've thought about too. Do you remember in They Live? Do you remember in They Live that it was because of a frequency that they broadcast that allowed these creatures to masquerade as humans? You remember? It was a frequency. And it was only an illusion. See, and that frequency was broken by the glasses. And this is what we saw when Nada put on the glasses, was the dystopian world, and which ones were the reptilians or the aliens or whatever, and which ones were not. See, I've often said it's not necessary for me to physically actually change my image. I only have to make you change your image of me. You understand? Does that make sense to anybody? I hope so. I'm a little bit on the fuzzy side here tonight, but we're all right. So I ran across this thing on Stu Peters here today. It says, can we all agree that despite whatever theory you subscribe to regarding the Charlie Kirk assassination, we should just start referring to it as the CKH, the Charlie Kirk hoax. The official narrative, quote unquote, that we're being fed is so obviously a complete and total hoax. Well, yeah, and it's here's what's so weird. Here's what I'm trying to figure out. Why are they wanting us to see this? Why are they wanting us to see this shoddy work, sneaky bullshit, cover up crap committed by the FBI? What is the real deal? Why are they doing it? I mean, you couldn't make it any more obvious. You really couldn't. It's a hang on, let me that comes up again. I'm just missing it. There it goes. But yeah, I mean, they're making it too obvious almost. And I have to ask myself, why? Why? But they are keeping you on the narrative that this guy was actually killed. There was no funeral that we know of. Where's he buried? Where did he actually lay in state at? Has anybody ever seen outside of his hands Charlie Kirk in a box? No. Have we seen an autopsy report? No. Do we know any of the staff or anything else that was on duty at the hospital when they took him in there? No. Just little made up fucking backstories with no real substance to it. And that's what I find is extremely curious. So where did he go? He'll pop up as some other character somewhere else. Look at there. Look at the cat dragged in.
I couldn't stay away from this topic because I was like, I'm just gonna sit back and like see where this goes. And then you showed the guy. I actually watched the video of the guy with the eye and the thing, and I was like, is this the right time to start? Like, I know it's always been talked about, but like the right time to start talking about there is, you know, we're not the only people, you know, in this place, and we think we are the only thinking individuals in this place, but there might be some others who operate by a different, I guess, genetic disposition, if that's the right word. I've always tried to find a right way to talk about this. Like, you know, if we go in the ocean, there are fish in the ocean that literally can take on the color of a rock to disappear with camouflage, right? Mm-hmm. We all agree to that. We've seen it. They can change their skin color by their optical nerves and fibers. They can see it, and they just take the color of the thing behind them so they can hide from sharks or they can hide from something
Yeah,
that,
yeah, just blend right in with whatever. Yeah.
So
Amazing.
how far of it is a stretch to think that there's also bipeds, people walking around with 2 feet that can do the same thing, and nobody, I've never really wanted to talk about it because it's so weird. It's even funnier than that is like people recoil to FE more so than they do on the reptilian subject.
Oh,
But
yeah,
like
yeah.
a lot of FE people don't want to talk about the reptilian subject because it's so fucking weird. We have this opposite thing going on,
What I see is I've looked into this for a long, long time, and there's so much history behind the idea that it's not even funny. I mean,
It's all over everything. It's all over all history. There's reptiles and lizards and shit.
In our modern day English, like for instance, we're told that a serpent, okay, tricked Eve into eating on the apple, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the fruit from the tree of knowledge. It was a serpent. That's the English, okay? And in those days, in Elizabethan times and such, everything that was a lizard was a serpent. It didn't just mean a snake. They referred to a dragon as a serpent as well. So is
Something
it
with
possible that
scales.
it was a serpent that beguiled her in the form of a man or something? Or, in that same way as they're doing now, that actually beguiled her into partaking of that fruit.
So how would you know? How would you know walking? Yeah, how would you know walking through this world if, we're flesh and blood human beings? We're walking around. We've got 2 eyes, 2 arms, 2 legs, and we sort of agree that how we perceive the world is generally, the same. We agree that the color is green. If we see a tree, and the sky's blue, we can agree on certain things. But what's to say, that there isn't people amongst us that mastered, a craft that fish in the sea have already done it. And they're also intelligent. I think we're all coming to the general agreement that we're not the first people to rent this apartment. That there might be people out there that if they can't get you to manifest what their need from their spiritual needs, they might just eat you. There's like that idea. So I was like, from my perspective, it was like, I wonder when the right time is to really start talking about the other race, and not to freak people out or anything, because FE already freaks people out anyway. But then you start talking about, okay, now we're doing reptiles tonight. Shit.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting topic, especially as the possibility of it goes. We've already been told so much of things that are myth. We've found out are not really myth.
Yeah.
The existence of giants. We know that's real. We know that's real, and they've gone to great extents to cover up the existence of the Nephilim, the mighty men of renown.
Yeah, and we're starting to see evidence.
Chopping off hands of statues, chopping off the extra toe to make it look like they only got 5, removing the heads. There's all kinds of crazy shit like that, and the existence of giants is pretty well known now.
Yeah, and to address your question about you just said it. Why is it becoming so obvious? And you had said because it went from the Trump magically creating that was obvious, but then even the Charlie Kirk thing became even more obvious, and we had all talked about the next one, it's going to be so fucking obvious that everybody's going to know, because if we're spotting it in from a week on the Trump thing to the 48 hours on the Charlie Kirk thing, the next one we're going to be like, Jesus, this is stupid. We saw this coming from a mile away. Why are they making it so obvious? And I was thinking about that, and maybe you want to wax on this, but what if contractually they have to do it? What if it's contractually or karmically it has to happen, and it's just part of a cycle? I've thought about this over and over and over again. It's like the continual cycle. Some people would like to call it the short season. Well, you have to have the short season in order to appreciate the 1,000 years and all this stuff. You can wax with that if you want to, but in my mind, it's like they're making it obvious on purpose. Even in just me, I would all of these psyops, I would have done them a lot better. I was like, why did they do that? Why are they showing that? That's just stupid. If I wanted to get away with that, I would have done it this way. And even if just
Yeah.
people like us are saying that, it's like they're showing it on purpose. And then the question is, what you asked is, all right, who's fucking running the show?
It's called
You know,
chutzpah. It's called
and
chutzpah, Larry.
it just kind of comes down to like, who's the great prosecutor, the great thing that gives you friction in your life to have an experience, good or bad or indifferent, is not in flesh and blood, but in
The
powers and
accuser.
principalities, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like, and then like, just like I've been on an Alan Watts binge for the last couple weeks, and I'm like, okay, well, how does my emotions handle this? Okay, so we have some guy that's just trying to fuck with everybody all the time, 24 hours a day, and then this guy's expecting me not to see it, So like, then how do I manage it moving forward? Like when you see this obvious psyop crap that's going on, and you're like, oh, this is really fucking obvious. And then you step back and you're like, as long as it doesn't if you don't let it bother you, they don't get your loosh. They don't
Right.
get your fucking loosh. And you're just like, that's hilarious. And then you figure out that Satan's actually kind of hilarious, even though he's a dick, and you're like, fuck you. I can see your joke. The big problem you run into is when a mass amount of people believe that, and then it affects your personal life. It affects the way you're getting about your own getting up to having food.
On this reptilian thing, okay? There's certain things about this that it might, I don't know, maybe a shape-shifting human with reptilian tendencies. There's a reason that these people keep their bloodline intact, okay? Even at the expense of great birth defects due to inbreeding. The royal family had so many mishaps with that. You remember the movie The King's Speech?
Mm-hmm.
That was, his tongue was fucked up because of inbreeding, right?
Yeah, and the one thing that I took, let me speak to that while I think about it, and keep your thought, put a pin in that. So like, I got my degree in biology, and the one thing that did make a lot of sense outside of a lot of indoctrination through science in college for me, one thing that did make sense and made a lot of sense to me was when you were looking at the DNA structure, you have expressive traits, you have dominant traits and recessive traits. And the way that balances out through interbreeding as far away from your gene pool as possible is you don't run a risk of these recessive traits coming forth. Well, in the reptilian, what we were talking about, and in the parlance of this conversation, the reptilian would be the dominant trait. They're concerned about keeping that. And the more that they can get those dominant traits to come up, even if it risks the recessive traits coming up, as in like, I don't know, this is wild speculation, but fat fingers and a bunch of fucking fucked up things that fuck up your head, they're more concerned with keeping that bloodline alive and going. And it would appear as though, to me, just as my humble opinion, that they exist on the blood of human beings, and that is, and if you're smart enough to kind of stay out of the way of it.
History, there's a long history of that through those bloodlines, and especially the Gothic Saxa Coburg bloodline that leads right up to fat fingered fucker right now, Charles. If you recall, Elizabeth in her last days looked so positively fucking evil and very, very reptilian in her appearance, in my opinion.
I agree.
She looked straight up demonic. Now, what I would think is, this is my theory on it, is that they keep this specific bloodline, the specific DNA code that is compatible with the pairing of an entity.
Yeah.
Okay. And to be able to be paired with this entity, and I'll just go ahead and say demonic entity, the bloodline, the DNA has to be a certain way. Okay. Now, they throw this shit right in your face. I don't know how many of you out there are on the panel right now did you guys ever watch Stargate?
A little bit.
Series.
Oh wait, that's the movie. That's the movie, the desert, and it has
they open up this Stargate. They go through, and it's like they're in fucking ancient Egypt, but they're like somewhere else in the galaxy, right? But my point with this is that these these planets were run by these system lords, and these system lords all had these god names of ancient gods, and they had these names of ancient gods. And what would happen with them? They were actually a human host that had a symbiote that lived inside of them and gave them like extraordinary powers and intelligence, and it basically used the human host and didn't let the human interact very much at all, but just used it until the host got too old. And then the Goa'uld, what it was called, this symbiote that lived inside them, would choose a new host because they would live through many man's lifetimes.
And that's not much of a stretch. Like,
I got an echo from somebody.
Yeah, somebody, if maybe mute up if you guys aren't talking. And I'm gonna try my. But it's not too much of a stretch when you look at just like the natural world. Anyway, that there's parasites everywhere. There's parasites in your blood. There's a lot of them do a job inside of your body that's good. There's a lot of people out there that would talk about cancer being the result of a parasite. And there's a whole rabbit hole to go down on that one, but like this isn't new. These topics are not new. Shape-shifting things are not new. They're in the ocean.
What about the brill worms, man?
Yeah.
What about the brill worms in the black eye club? What's that all about? That this worm goes in through the eye, it leaves a black eye at first, but then it's controlling the host's brain.
Yeah.
What if we're the parasite in a way, and that we're the soul itself is the parasite, or the bot? Like, I had this trip. I only did acid like once in my life, and it was a trusted person. I was up at her house about an hour north, and I was hanging out, had a few pops, but back then I wasn't too much into drinking. So, anyways, I smoked a bunch of weed with her and that, and like, and she gave me this little corner piece of paper, and she goes, "Oh, don't do that until you get home." Right? I'm fucking driving. I said, "Yeah, okay." Well, it sat on the shelf for about a week or two, and like one day I took it in. I fucking said, "Okay, I'm gonna try it." And the two things that happened to me on this trip, everything was cool. Like, I just a little bit of color, stuff like that. I didn't feel too silly or nothing. Okay, I'll tell you the weird one. The weird one was outside. I could hear scratching on my neighbor's house to the point, like, we're postage stamped here. So I went out and I'm looking at the house, and I could stand in there and I could still hear it. Like almost like a bear, like on the inside, like scratching wood. And the other thing that I came to this realization was that we're all symbiotically paired up with a parasite. Is like, this is just weird. It was a knowing at the time, and it stuck with me ever since.
Yeah, you're paired up with a biological machine avatar so that you can operate, function within this 3D reality that we live in.
Perhaps the body's the parasite, right? You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Yeah, well, we're not a body that has a soul. We're a soul that has a body.
Right.
Yeah, and that's really important.
But we're the Goa'ulds, right? We're the consciousness.
No, this was a completely different thing. This was a physical entity that went within the thing. But you know what you're saying is, yeah, that perhaps the soul is the demon that's placed because of this perfect bloodline. I mean, these people are so ritualistic and shit, There was actually an honored position amongst the royal court called the groom of the stool, and they would have to tend to the king or queen's bathroom needs, which included like wiping and disposing of waste. And they had to do it in a certain way, not put with the common people's waste. So I don't know what the fuck they were doing with it. And I mean, even had their own royal toilet. It was like on a box that they would carry around with them when they traveled and shit. And that's what they would poop into a pot. And then this guy, the groom of the stool, would come in and wipe their ass and then dispose of it. Yeah. In fact, Diana, Princess Diana, Queen or whatever, Princess Diana, her grandfather was groom of the stool.
It's so bizarre, man. And like they don't really try to hide it. You know, they it's public record, but most people just can't look at it. They didn't want to look at it. They're like, Jesus, that's just so twisted. They
They're
don't.
fucking psychopathic lunatics, and
I
they're
know.
running the fucking world.
I know. I know,
And we're
it's
all sitting there
crazy.
going, "Oh, what do we do?" Man, there are so many more of us than there are now. There
Yeah.
really are.
And well, here's the other thing too is like
We
like
could
in
we could fucking undo this shit in a day
in a
if
day, in a day.
everybody
Here
was
here it
on
is. And here it is. Here's the thing that gets most people is the disruption of the social contract. Nobody wants to talk about the weirdest shit.
I never saw the social contract. I've never signed one. I I saw James Freeman put in, and I want to do the same thing. He put in a Freedom of Information Act request for the social contract.
Yeah.
Anything come back?
I was speaking
No, not
metaphorically,
so
but
far.
no, it's like, well, everyone's, even if it's a subconscious social contract, it's like, this is like talking about FE, which is like, I can't believe that's more gut punching than say talking about reptilians who shapeshift, but apparently it is. But like this topic, I've never really been able to like expand and like actually talk about it in the realm of just common sense. It's like, okay, well, let's just play with it. Let's play with the fact
Why
that
is it so prevalent in ancient architecture,
everywhere.
legend?
It's
And, yeah,
everywhere.
and this is what I'm finding out. We're finding out that what we consider legend and myth are actually rooted in fact.
Yeah.
This is what we're finding out.
Didn't somebody dig up a dictionary reference in like the late 50s or early
To a dragon.
for a
Dragon,
dragon? It says
yeah.
rare in parentheses. Like somebody printed
Yeah.
that. And they're like, somebody actually was like, yeah, there's dragons, but they're way over there or something. They're rare. They're not going to be around here anymore. I'm like, where did that one go? And where's the editor of that dictionary? And did they get fired or did they were
Yeah.
just like, it's like, okay, so there's
Well,
dragons.
We find so much that goes against the official narrative that we're given, the historical record, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't fucking work, man. They've bamboozled us with this pseudoscience nonsense now for like 100 years, okay? With their fucking paleontology and their carbon dating and all their fucking pseudoscience goddamn nonsense and their astronomy and all this other fucking shit, everything to totally, there again, make you believe that everything is the opposite of what it really is.
You
I
know,
mean,
my
at
favorite,
every fucking level.
my favorite trick that a lot of these cats do is, I call it the math sandwich. If you just add more zeros to the end of a timeline, everybody's just like, pfft. They're like, well, it's so long. No, you just added a bunch of zeros. You made a math sandwich and fucked with everybody's minds.
No.
Because people don't understand numbers. Like, I mean, people don't even understand what a million is. A million is a lot. It's a lot. And you start talking like numbers of like 200 million or a billion. That is so stupefyingly high that people just, their brains just go, I'm done.
Yeah, they
talking
don't
about
care. It
this.
shuts them on, turns them off. They don't care.
Just turns them off. It's a really good trick. I mean, it's clever. It really is.
Yeah.
Just add some zeros on the end, make it a math sandwich, and like draw a bunch of fucking symbols on a whiteboard
Some
and say this
33s
is
and
why space.
66s, and yeah.
Yeah, this is why space is curved, and like they do all these things to make it really difficult when it's really dumb.
I know.
It's
and
retarded.
people don't even, they totally bypass all the logic
Mm-hmm.
of like, wait a minute, hold on, wait. Space, emptiness is curved. Fuck you. That's
It's
the
dumb.
dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Nobody's fucking retarded.
Oh my
Right.
god.
Wow, that is some really fucking heavy duty shit right there. Okay, so emptiness. So this means what? That's just dumb. That is dumb. If you really think about it. And this is anything they can possibly do to float this fucking stupid ass story when the answer's right in front of you. It's simple. You live it. You expect it. And you observe it all day long. And it's like, what the fuck? A magical force? Why do you need a magical force to pull things down? It's obvious that it's all the relationship between an object and the fluid medium in which it's residing. There's never an instance where something is not subject to a fluid medium. Okay. What is the force? Well, everything wants to equalize. Okay. And what we find is displacement is the force. Okay. Displacement. Look up the word. What does it mean to displace? To move from one place to another. Okay. And what is responsible for that? The disequilibrium between the object and the fluid medium it's in. Think about this. If you step off of a 6-foot cliff, you're going to drop down to the ground. But if you if you walk off into the 6-foot end of a pool, you'll go in and come up to the top again. Now, what's going on? You're not on the ground. There's nothing pulling you down. You're actually now, because you're in a different fluid medium, you're actually flying above the earth technically, because you're just in a denser medium, denser than you. So
well, they didn't teach that stuff. So
the opposite happens to you. In the air, you displace the medium. In the water, the medium displaces you. It's real simple.
So where do we go? Like, where do we go from? I mean, I think we like, we've spent enough years in the topic of like our, where we're at. We're kind of trying to figure out when we're at. I think that's still kind of important. That goes back to the old world stuff. But like, again, because I came on here tonight, I really wanted to because I have never really had a good.
I'm just going to answer that. I'll answer that. When are we?
Okay. When are we?
We know we're not where they tell us, right? But it's hard to say without knowing.
Okay. I know, and that's how I reason my way through this. It's like, well, what are the priorities? Your spiritual journey is yours and yours alone to have. Secondly, you need to know when and where you are. Where we are, it's becoming more. We can go out and check it. Now we kind of went through that process. When
we live in a clock, for crying out loud.
I know, but then like the third thing I was going to bring up was like just this. That hasn't really been addressed in a responsible way. Like I think the circles, in your guys' circles and a bunch of other circles, is this whole other group of people that kind of look like they might not exactly be the same as us. And that's the best way I can say it.
Have you ever seen them with, like, I'm not trying to body shame anybody or anything like that, but have you ever, like, I don't know, I got a bump on my head here, this and that, the camera's not doing it justice, whatever. But have you ever seen someone with like the slightly elongated skull?
Yes, when the bumps that go all the way, like
no, it's kind of like cone head, but at the back it protrudes.
Yes,
like a little bit.
They have
so anyway,
skulls.
the ones that I've seen are very uppity class. They're like wearing the most expensive clothes in my little hick downtown, right? And they're playing the game though. Like I'll say hi to these people. I say hi to everyone just to see. Right. And I don't like it. I've said this before. I don't particularly like it when someone just ignores me like I don't exist. I'll say it twice. And if I'm in a good mood, I'll let it slide. But like, don't pretend I don't exist because you have more money than me. Or you think, like, a lot of people tell me, get a job. They don't know. I work 9 to 5 every day swinging a hammer. Right. They don't know. But they see the beard. And I'm not dressed like a bum. Like, I don't have expensive clothes, but I'm clean. I smell good. Right. And yeah, I'm kind of, I don't have, and so the other thing is what do they teach us in the schools? Like, as far as like misleading, right? First it's the globe shit, right? It's the globe shit, the insignificance. And then, they want to teach us about geography for some reason, which is obviously wrong. There's something wrong with the geography. So like, I think, Lori, what you're saying about how where you are and when you are is the biggest part of the veil that they're still holding on to the corner of that curtain and they just won't let it go.
The whole thing is this: they've got you sewed up with a history, which we are uncovering is mostly fabricated nonsense.
And all of it.
So, like an amnesia patient, right? We don't know who we are. We don't know when we are.
Right.
We don't know where we are. We've been given collective amnesia. And that's the best way to control. Think about this. You ever saw the movie Overboard?
Yeah.
Goldie Hawn falls off the fucking boat, gets amnesia
Oh
and
yeah.
shit. She was a rich, stuck up bitch and shit. And this guy made her believe that he was her wife, his wife and everything. And she was cleaning the house, and she was, you know, he just said she had amnesia. And that's what they can do to somebody. If you wipe out their identity, you can mold them into whatever you want them to be. And that's what they've
Ironic
done.
side note, she has property about an hour and a half from where I'm standing, yeah, on the Lake Rosso, and as well as Kurt Russell has property about they're on Lake Joe, which is in Rosso, next town over, if you will.
You know what's
So
gnarly? What's
dude
gnarly
was
about
just had a
the?
comment. Dude just had a comment up there about Mount Shasta and a city of giants. Listen, there's some heavy fucking energy comes off Mount Shasta. I can tell you that from experience.
Yeah, I believe it.
I didn't even know I was near it, and I started feeling this really fucking crazy vibe, man. And I was driving. It was rainy out and dark highway.
You know, there might be an interesting deep dive on
And
that.
then I was like, I couldn't pin it. I was like, why am I feeling this? And all of a sudden I saw this sign up ahead pointing off to the right, Mount Shasta. And I was like, oh, that's what it, that explains a hell of a lot right there.
Yeah, there's a girl named Queen and Nana. She's not got a huge channel, but she's of the FE persuasion, and she's been around, but she's at Mount Shasta, like I think she's preaching something, some sort of
West
something.
Coast
I don't know what it
thing?
is.
Is that what Mount Shasta is?
It's in isn't it in
California,
it's outside
I believe,
Portland.
isn't it?
In
No, it's
California.
Portland. Is it Northern
No,
California?
it's not. No, it's in California.
Yeah,
Northern
and
California.
she's out there doing that. She might be an interesting little deep dive for the chat. Queen and Nana. She's been on a couple of shows in our community. I'm not, but Mount Shasta has some sort of meaning to her. I don't know. I've never been.
That's where Bigfoot comes through from. There's a portal.
There's a lot of there's a
Listen,
squatch.
I have seen so many crazy fucking videos on YouTube and shit since I've been, around. All kinds of crazy shit about, I've gone down the lizard people rabbit hole, and there is definitely something bizarre about those. They definitely are. These people are vampiric.
I mean, that's public record. I mean, we've kind of unraveled that rabbit hole.
Holy crap! The Saxe-Gotha covert line that Charles right now is part of goes all the way back to Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah.
Okay. Same family. Bring it up a few centuries, and then there was the notorious Countess Elizabeth Bathory. Have you ever heard of her?
Mm-hmm. I don't think so.
She was a countess, and she was having all these young women would come to work for her as handmaidens, and pretty soon they started running out of young girls to come work as handmaidens, and people started wondering what's happening.
The way to really
and
look
they
at it,
found out that she was bleeding them, drinking their blood, and bathing in it. Okay.
Yeah. That's the bugger of the, without, I won't mention the name, everybody already on here already knows it, but it's like there is some sort of value in what runs through our veins, and it's very valuable to a certain segment of population.
Just like today, Lowry, just like today, guess what her punishment was? House arrest for the rest of her life in a castle.
Yeah. Oh,
come on, man.
Who would even check on that? She's probably free as a bird somewhere.
Exactly.
Somewhere else.
And this goes all the way up. This goes through. We know about the Marc Dutroux case in Belgium that took place. That ended up, that was their Pizzagate, and it went all the way up to the Parliament. This was huge. There was such blatant cover up, even by police. If you've never looked into that, look into the Marc Dutroux case. That this dude was, wow. He was a scumbag, and he was actually providing young ones for the elite.
Mm-hmm.
And
apparently, it is an elixir.
Don't call him that. You're the one that taught me not to call him that, so don't call him that.
The thing is that these vampires are what's running this world right now.
Yeah.
and they thrive on death and suffering, and that's evident.
Agony. Yeah.
That's evident. What was it somebody said the other day that, you know, maybe this right here being on Earth, right, this is actually hell.
Could be.
If you want to like take a step back from it and like if you get your arms around it and get a better understanding of like you know, I mean, we're considered by a certain bunch of people chattel. We're considered by a certain bunch of people goyim. This is what it feels like to be, say, cattle in a field. I mean, we're obviously sealed.
Maybe they're not talking about me, you, and Saab though. When we speak about these cattle, maybe they're talking about the NPCs. 99%.
Sure. Yeah,
No,
sure.
it's racial. It's racial.
Okay, for sure.
Because it actually says that that we are nothing more than cattle born in human form.
Yeah, this is what it feels like to not be at the top of the food chain per se. Although we have the intelligence to avoid getting our, you know, our essence drink. I guess if that's the conversation we're having here by somebody else. If you're smart enough, you're like, dude, no, fuck you. You know, but like, you know, who are we to be so arrogant to think there isn't somebody that benefits off of something that our body creates and makes their life better? Perhaps it extends their age. It's a drug. It's you know, it's got oxidized adrenaline in it, which is a thing that your body creates to help you fight off something really awful that happens to you. If you get in an accident, your adrenal glands kick in to get you. I've heard stories of like people who lift. They have a kid under their car, and their adrenal glands kick in, and they lift the car, even though it's impossible to lift the car. They do it, save the kid. Well, that's just farming what's inside of our blood and putting it inside somebody else's body for the drug effect of
So
it.
who's the powerful one? Who's the higher class then? If they're feeding on us, then like, you know what I mean?
We
Like, you
are.
look at it as
We're the higher power.
right? No, if we're the drug that they want, right?
Well, we are because we've got souls. They don't.
This is why this is why they have to rely on deceit in order to subsist.
All right.
Otherwise, if it were right out in the open, we would soon realize there are enough of us that we can stop it. But they're able to sustain their thirst, and we just go, oh, there you go, put that picture on a milk carton. Who's look at little Miss has been gone now for 6 months. Nobody's found her. You know, as many kids that come up missing out of each areas of the world every year, you would figure somebody would step over a body or something once in a while, but they don't.
No.
Yeah, but can I ask you a question though, which is kind of weird, and I'm not trying to discredit what you're saying because I know the numbers are really high. But do you know anybody that's ever quote unquote lost a fucking kid? Right?
Yeah.
Oh, do you really? I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry. Like,
there's
a long time ago in Michigan, it was a lady in our neighborhood. Her kid come up missing. Never.
I mean, the sheer number of people going missing, it's out there, but it's not a higher number that you would just experience it in any one particular community. You know, but like there's also kids that just they didn't even go to school. They had parents and they just didn't even put them in school, so they weren't even tracked by the census or if you even, you know, participate in that.
I saw that the other day. It was like
disappeared. They just disappear, and they don't have any power. Their parents probably are on, you know, not in a good position to begin with. You never know. Sometimes their parents might have sold them off.
Well,
it's that kind of shit.
Now. It's worse now because we've got a large segment of the population that's grown up and even into second generational that the children are not something that was planned like, hey, I really love this person. I'm going to get together. I'd like to have children with this person. It ends up being a side effect of a random sexual encounter.
Yeah.
Because these people just hook up, right? So what's that do to the children that are born out of that? They're already coming into this world under the vibration of an accidental thing. Okay. And most often than not, the father is not in the picture. And if he is, it's on a weekend and there's animosity, blah, blah, blah. Because see, these people hook up and they're attracted physically. And then that happens. And the reality of it is they can't fucking really stand each other. They're just in it for the lust aspect of it.
And then they have they have offspring, and then they're like, "What are we supposed to
do?"
do?
Right. And so it's like we've got people that have no way have intended to be parents. They are accidental parents, and and I'm not saying they're all doing bad or anything else like that. What I'm saying is that a lot of them are just they're doing it because they have to. They're not doing it because they wanted to.
Yeah.
You understand? And there's a difference in that. So there's a lacking of effort, I believe, in the ones that they're being parented because they have to, and not because their parents wanted to, and they planned on having the kids. Now this isn't like exclusive or anything. This is only my theory, but
well, here's an important spin on that too, Sav, and I think it's really important to talk about is that the awareness in general of it generally protects most people if you can discern. This is the dregs we're talking about. This is like a subject probably worse than anything that anyone ever wants to talk about. But like,
Ugly.
The awareness, it's the worst. It's the worst topic I think that there is out there is killing somebody and drinking their own blood. It's awful. So like, but what you got out of this and what you can take from it and move forward is that, practice your discernment. And once you're aware of it, it can't touch you. It can't touch you. It can't touch your family. Just as long as being aware of it is enough. And it needed to be talked about. I mean, the reptilian thing needed to be talked about. And I was waiting for like the right time to really talk about it in a responsible sensibility, as opposed to like people on fucking TikTok or doing all these things or whatever. There's a reptile. Well, we don't know if it's a reptile or not. Just whatever. Let's talk about it sensibly. And
I've had it on the back burner for a very long time. I just put it on the back burner, and like I kind of enjoy the idea to think about it because I just haven't even thought about it. And they talk about
in regards to like Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah.
That as she got older,
she had the eye.
Ladies of the court who were menstruating were told not to attend court. And it was because the blood smell would cause the queen to start losing her fucking shape.
Or losing her camouflage, as it were.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's like, this is old as time. And this shit has been in myth and in history for a long time. And I'm still like this, your show, obviously we talk about everything, right? So, but an actual medium canvas to talk about it where it doesn't sound batshit crazy, to sit here and say, hey, there might be somebody in here with us that doesn't behave the same way that we do.
Well, they call them demons too.
Yeah. From the
But what if our ego is the only reason that we look the way that we do? Only like, it's hard to explain, but I'm on board with the psychology of it. Why Bigfoot could walk past you and be just slightly out of phase or something. Like, I know I sound like a nut, but
no. The Bigfoot shows himself or herself to you if you're ready to see it. I've always thought that.
But your reflection right now, right? Your reflection right now is the product of your own perception. So therefore it is your ego. Like,
Sure.
You're basically, when they took Neo into the Matrix, he showed up in a certain type of clothes and like his hair was cut different and everything. And he's like, well, what the hell is this? And he's like, well, that's your personal image or whatever, right? Like that's your default in the Matrix, right? And then my other thing I was going to add to that was when we see these guys, maybe they're not shape-shifting, right? Perhaps, maybe like the shiny light coming out of them is actually like, perhaps these are simple conscious entities, right?
Watch Jim Carrey. Watch this. This is fucking great.
Maybe they're just shining through.
Sure.
Watch this. This is Jim Carrey. Everybody knows who he is. Comedian.
Clint Eastwood. 'Clint Eastwood.
I mean, he actually literally changed his fucking face, man. And there was another guy I saw, he turned into Tom Cruise. I mean, you're muted, Laurie.
Look at his dick. Hate to see it. Hate to see it.
Actors, they channel, but like you could also you could say that actors have opened up their soul to let other people channel through them. And they've given maybe a little too much leeway to a world that maybe you don't want too much of that in. In other words, like, yeah, you pay the price, go in there, let somebody else be you, let it channel through your soul, and then you can show it on your face. Like your face is your ultimate expression for how you feel when you look to people. People can generally read people's facial expressions, and then they can see sadness, they can see happiness. Well, actors can just channel that, and that makes them an open tool, for the world that we can't see to affect the world that we can see. And I've always kind of
The
felt
worst
like that.
poker face. I got the worst poker face. Like, now you got me all face conscious. I'm like, man, you look pissed off. I worked all day on this stuff.
Yeah, well, I've always you can kind of, you will look at the eyes, and generally, like most of the people that I know have smiling eyes, and that means that they're spiritually grounded. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of tough shit that a lot of people have to go through, but the smiling eyes always give you the
I
best.
think it's the people, man. It's who you keep around you is really important. I mean, like sometimes I'll say it like when I'm talking to myself for my own benefit, but it's good advice if I'm giving it to myself, I guess. But
Yeah,
it
indeed.
really matters your circle and stuff. And everybody's like, well, I don't care what people think. Well, maybe you should, because you know, it might help you. Yeah, it might help you gain some, more friends with honey, right?
Yeah, indeed.
This guy was amazing. Welcome, Roger.
Hey, Soph, how's it going?
What's up, Roger?
Pretty good.
Hey, Lowry. Hey, Snowman. And hello, no
What?
despair bear.
What's up, Roger?
Watch Jim
Not much.
Carrey. This is amazing. These are some of his impressions, man. And like I said, Stephanie McGuire said Jim Carrey admitted he had done so many characters he didn't even exist in so many words. Yeah, that could be a toll to pay.
I think I've probably spent my entire life staring in the mirror. I have. But I haven't been staring at me. I've been staring at Leonid Brezhnev. Jack Nicholson. Bruce Dern. Clint Eastwood. I think I've probably spent.
Yeah, it's
That's
weird.
fucking
It's weird they can do that. They can open up their soul and channel it straight to their face, and then make their face look like the way he thinks that they see. Because he's looking at Clint Eastwood. He's like, that's what Clint Eastwood looks like. I'm gonna make my face look like that. Which is like, it's vast entertainment value for people that are consumers of movies and like all that sort of thing. But like, at the end of the day, it's really just entertaining just to see somebody like open up their channel and do that. But at what price do you pay? At what price do you pay?
Very iconic.
Knowing that he
Canadian
has
and very
that
iconic.
talent, knowing that he has that talent like that. When I saw some things regarding that it was actually him made up playing Biden, I could see it. Because I already know that whoever that fucking guy was, it wasn't Joe Biden, because I remember Joe Biden.
Remember when the guy from Jackass did the old man thing and he was like doing all kinds of crazy shit with the old man mask on? Anyways, it looked really good from far away. And filming and stuff must have tripped people out really bad.
Johnny Knoxville is who you're talking about.
Johnny Knoxville. Yeah. Sorry, man. I'm really bad with names. Remember?
Johnny
He's
Knoxville.
yeah.
Wonder where he's at today. What's he doing these days?
I haven't seen anything from him.
I'm gonna send you a picture of the logo for theater. Everyone's seen it, but
tragedy and comedy.
Yeah. It's essentially what, in my mind, the opening up of your soul to other people's souls. In other words, you're giving yourself your own soul over to be them for a hot minute. And I just sent it. This is one of them. There's many of them, but like, once you do that, then your soul's at risk. They're not in control over it anymore. Now, will you get fame and will you get massive amounts of money to be able to do that? Sure, yeah, but you got to pay for it, and you're paying for it is you have to give up a section of your soul to let some other soul pass through that and sort of manifest on your face. And if you watch Jim Carrey, do his stuff over the course of years, he's done that. He has let so many entities go through him and manifest on his face that he doesn't know who he is anymore. You know,
That's funny, Larry.
it's what it. That's my humble opinion, but it's like that's why I could never be an actor. Music is authentic to me. I can play a guitar and sing a song, people get happy. And being an actor, you literally have to give up part of what is you and take on somebody else, and then you're not really
to
you
be a
anymore.
good one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What if you don't believe in it though? I think it matters if you believe in it. What if I'm just signing it Donald Duck, but like in my head, whatever. So this mark means it's like legal tender. You know what I mean? Like I, I'm still even thinking like like placebo effect. What we think is what's happening, and sure, there's a shared consciousness or something. Um, an agreed physics,
Yeah,
right?
well, I mean that's the nature of deception too. Is if you're talking about I guess the wide scope of
Lifting a
experience.
car or doing three backflips somehow.
Do you see this right here? This what you put up here, and this is the universal symbol for theater. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
these are masks that were traditionally worn in theater, like especially like back in Greek times and whatnot. And the actual um, name of these are called a persona. A mask is called a persona, and we all have a personality. The
Mm-hmm.
personality we have is our mask that we put on to be out in public. You
Indeed,
understand?
indeed.
And that's there it is. All theater. We are all actors within on
Yeah,
the stage.
and the other thing that's like really powerful about this, at least this conversation, is that again, I've been on an Alan Watts fireball like for the last 2 weeks. It's like we all wire ourselves together and create a perception of who we think we are, and like how are we presenting to the rest of the world, as opposed to like who you actually are, which is just like the words that come out of your mouth. Are you being authentic? Are you being yourself? Are you trying to tell the truth that you have to make it is most understandable to the person that might be listening, or something else? Whereas if you have in theater, that's entertainment. That's
We
something.
get to a point though, Lowry, where we believe the character. Okay.
Yes, indeed.
So a lot of times I like to ask people, I'll say, "Who are you?" And they'll tell me their name. And I say, well, I didn't ask you what your experience is. I said, "Who are you?"
Yeah. And it
Who
comes
are
down
you?
to and solve it,
Where
it's,
did you,
it's
is that your decision? That name you just gave me, was that your decision? Your
yeah,
occupation, is that what defines you? What is
yeah,
actually going on here? And what I usually try to lead them into understanding is that each of us are infinite awareness, having an experience. We're having this experience, okay? For whatever reason, whether it was chosen, whether it was imposed upon us, whatever the case may be, but that's what's going on.
absolutely. And you know what?
We're each here to learn something. Each individually, we're here to learn something.
Would you say also that maybe we're also like we're trying to remember actually who we are after
Yes,
all these shackles and all these things that we design upon
yes.
ourselves to like create a certain thing that we think is our outward projection to somebody else, but really we're all fighting to figure out and remember what we either did on purpose or on accident forgot before we got into this thing that we're in, this bugger.
Yeah.
And you remember who you are. And like I just in my humble opinion, and I make no claims here, the closer you can get to remembering who you were, the more peaceful this shit show becomes. And that's just me. That's just my personal opinion. But I feel like if you give yourself a chance to remember like what you were, and
What if that's not like on an individual perspective as well, so much as like group effort, right? Like as far as like who I am is who my ancestors were in theory. If anything they told me about birth canal is true, then I'm a result of the environment and my ancestors, right?
There could be like
But what if this?
a group network of
That's what I
a
mean. The part
memory.
about reaching back and like remembering who we were, like we all were at some point. You know what I mean? Like
Well, I
begot
tell
me and someone begot them, and
I will tell you, Snowman, moving forward, and like this whole thing that's we've all found ourselves in the last 10 years was a group effort in the forward motion. In other words, like everybody did little bitty pieces to kind of put back together something that we had forgotten. And I guess that could work in reverse. I think like you there that's happened before in the past to help remember yourself and also your connection with I guess various people that
afraid of
are,
snakes. Yeah.
yeah. Well, for me, it's like again, it's like this. I'm just going to use FE as an example because I just think it needs to be expressed. This isn't the first time this cosmology has been brought up. This is 2.0. So like, if anybody goes out there trotting around and be like, "Oh, this is the first person talking about FE," 10, 15 years ago, but no, you weren't. No, you weren't. It's like we just had to collectively put it all back together. We had to collectively clean up all our memories
Well,
and bring them
besides
back
that, what
in.
do you fucking want? A cookie?
Yeah, what do
You
you
know,
want to cookie? Oh, yeah, good for you, buddy. It's like
Speaking of cookies, Sob, have you had one today? Have you had?
no, actually, I haven't.
I think
I
he
have.
needs one,
Sob's
Rod.
got the cookies, man.
I had this stuff that was like kind of like I guess you could call it chicken pot pie, but it was made with biscuits in it instead of
Oh,
like
nice.
with the chicken and stuff inside the biscuits. It was pretty good, man. That's another thing I hadn't been eating like I should, but like I said, it was amazing when Brandy passed. It was sort of like I felt better than I had ever. I mean, in the last few weeks. And that's why I can't help but think that maybe some of that what I was feeling was a way of maybe sympathetic to tell me what she was experiencing. But nothing they could have ever done about that would have not, gravely and jeopardized her life and made her miserable. So she's way better off, and she was the calmest, most peaceful before she went than I'd seen her in a while. So that was good. She wasn't in any, her hips weren't hurting her. And when she went down, like when she collapsed that morning, she just fell. And I went and stood her back up. I went over and helped her and stood her back up. And she just fell right over again. And I think she hurt her front paw when she did that too. But it was because of that tumor inside her tummy. And I thought, I just figured it was, she's old and we get pot bellies when we get old. That's all right. And I'd limit down, her treats and everything. But I'll tell you something, the last few days of me taking care of her and staying out here with her and, waiting for this appointment. And she got the best treatment, boy. She got to eat treats for dinner. She got to and the other dogs are like, "Hey, what the fuck is going on here? This is not cool." But and I'd bring water out. I'd have to sit her up and hold her so she could drink. And so, and you've heard her drink. So that was
Oh yeah.
But I had like a pee pad laying under her back end so that when she did go to the bathroom, and poor thing, she'd whimper because she's like, "Oh, I'm not supposed to do that." And I just kind of told her, I says, "You go ahead and pee if you have to. I'll clean it up. Don't worry." And thankfully it wasn't too bad of a mess, but it was still.
Well, sorry to hear that she's gone, man. I didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I put it. Oh, I got to go back tomorrow and get 2 more patio stones because I told the boy, I said I need 24. And because it's, the grave site is 24 foot square and 6x4. And so he loaded them up. I'd already paid for them. I got home. I had everything leveled out, started laying them down and shit. And then I was like, "Oh, fuck, I'm too short." So I still got the receipt. I'll just go back tomorrow and tell him I didn't get to there. I was supposed to bring them over and finish it. But she's out there in the backyard. My son Corey helped me bury her. And, yeah, she was buried with her little doll that she loved. She had this little rag doll, and the way she got that was when I worked out in Lone Pine, in California, at the hardware store.
He had to put her.
I had her at work with me. I'd been down to the lumber yard and I had to go up to the hardware store for the last like 2 hours. And I had Brandy with me. And she's walking through the store, you know, she'd go and follow Margaret around. And Margaret came back from in the toy aisle and Brandy was following her and she come up into where the registers are at. And I looked and there's Brandy had grabbed the rag doll off the shelf and had it in her mouth. And she was looking at Brent. She was looking at Margaret, manager, like, oh, can I have this? And I was about to go, Brandy, you can't take toys off the shelf. And I says, you know, I told her, I says, you can't have that, Brandy. And Margaret goes, yes, she can. You go ahead and take that home. Ever since, I've had it for years.
Nice story. It's beautiful.
Yeah, so I buried that with her, and it's going to be a bit of an adjustment, but hey, you know.
Was Brandy the one that was really protective around the cats, Sav?
What's that?
Was Brandy the one that was really protective around Esther and?
No. That was Peanut, the little white pit bull. She was wanting to be like, nobody gets up here by these things.
Well, lucky for you, you've still got 5 more beautiful dogs running around. Four more beautiful dogs running around there. That's awesome.
I was going to ask you guys a question. You ever heard the song "Limelight" by Rush?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much that's what you guys were breaking down for everybody.
That whole thing. It says, all the world could be a stage. We are merely players, performers, and portrayers, each another's audience inside this gilded cage.
Yeah.
That's a
pretty much
as well.
Yeah.
Listen, when they lost Neil Peart, not only a fantastic drummer, they're going on tour again, and they've got a drummer that can, I guess, keep up with Neil Peart, and it's a female drummer from Germany.
A chick.
So yeah, she sounds pretty good too, man. She does.
There's a bunch of anger out there right now because apparently those concert tickets sold out so quick that like lifelong like Rush fans can't get tickets to go see them. I'm kind of like, come on, guys, just you can just play, I don't know, another venue and just open up more tickets. Which I think it just feels like a ticket grab by Rush. But like, you know, there's a whole entire generation. I had my Rush phase in high school. I admit it.
Did you ever hear the first album?
I just heard the one that got everybody about the trees and the whatever that one was.
That's a good story.
That one was like the one that got me, and of course, you know, I liked Rush, and then I wasn't supposed to like Rush because they're not cool anymore, and like all this shit.
Oh shit! What about 2112 was phenomenal to me. Okay, and side 2's good too, but the 2112, man, we were all like bonging out on mescaline, microdots back in the day, and we were listening to that, and I could picture this whole fucking story, and then I had this idea. I literally tried to track down Jim Henson to give him an idea of doing a rock opera of 2112 using like original Muppet characters.
Yeah.
Because if you've never listened to it, it's really interesting. It's like this guy, he lives in this society that's ruled by these priests, and they're the ones that decide what kind of pictures you get to see and what kind of music you get to hear and everything like that. And it's just normal. Everybody just accepts it, right? And this guy one day goes out and he's exploring around, and in a cave he finds an instrument. And he wonders what it is. He says, this is really cool. I can make music with this. I can make my own music with this. And his idea is, wait till I show the priests. This is fantastic. I'm going to take this thing, and I just usually kind of picture a guitar. And he takes it to the priests. And he says, now look at, people can make their own music, and you won't have to be burdened with providing the music for them. Because now people can make their own music. And they're like, yeah, that part of that song goes, yes, we know, we understand. It's nothing new. This is what destroyed the elder race of man. And they smashed the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the thing is the guy goes off and he's all depressed and shit. And he figures he doesn't want to live in the world after he's explored freedom and he's been denied it. And so just as he kills himself, he just self-deletes, a galactic federation comes back and reclaims the planet, the ones that had gone off and left the priests in charge in the first place. It's really kind of a cool story. And the whole side is a series of songs that just meld into one another that tell this whole story. Really, really cool, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, anyone that was like guitar nerds.
I ask you about the first album just because this was pre Neil Peart. They had a guy named John Rutsey, was his name, and they sounded like a Led Zeppelin wannabe band. They really did.
John Rutsey, Jeff Jones, Alex Lifeson. Yeah, and well, the thing that got me about that band was that they were just the like they were just technically like just amazing. Of course, I was coming up in guitar, and I'm like, dude, what? There's a 3-piece. They're awesome. They're speaking in metaphors, you know. And I'm like, why do I like these guys so much? And then, of course, I went through the phase where I was like, no, I'm not supposed to like Rush. And now I'm back to the place where I'm like, those guys were pretty fucking cool. You know, just like what they were getting up to and like what, you know, how much nerd can you put into music and get it to actually like be liked by people? Because like you're either Rush or you've evolved into math rock, which is like nerd rock, and like there's only like that's when the crowd goes down very quickly. It's only guys that understand the fretboard and understand like you know, polyrhythms and everything else. Like, yeah, dude, yeah, check this out.
This is what struck me so is that you'd think I'd be more enamored always by the guitarist because I'm a guitarist, right? But I was looking at Geddy Lee. Okay, now here's this fantastic, well-orchestrated, syncopatic drum beat played by Neil Peart. Geddy Lee playing a fucking badass bass line while he's singing the treble to it.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I was like
total music nerds, total, and I loved it, dude. I was like geek.
The only one better than that is the bass line in Roundabout by Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember.
God. You listen to that and just like what I like to do is put on headphones and listen to something, and I'll tune out the other instruments in my head. I'll just listen to one instrument. I listen to that bass, and I'm like, that motherfucker is just sitting there. He's banging. He's totally banging on that bass.
And what you realize is they're doing this.
Yeah, man.
He's playing a line over the bar, over the measure, and then you're like, how did he make that a hit? You know, and you're sitting there just trying to struggle. Which part am I supposed to listen to? What am I doing with this music? Yes, I had a Rush phase, and I'm willing to admit it. I loved it, and I love it again, and I appreciate it for a different reason.
I never let nobody tell me what the fuck to listen to, and I still don't. I mean, if I was to just put shuffle on all my music that I have, if I just shuffled it, you have no idea what you might hear. It might even be something funny. Have you ever heard of Richard Cheese?
No.
You've never heard of Richard Cheese. Richard Cheese takes. Hang on, I'll show you.
I mean, were you a Zappa guy, Sav? Like, I love Zappa.
Yeah. Oh my God. With Dynamo Hum, that is fucking hilarious.
I mean, that's nerd rock times a million. Zappa is.
Wait a second. Chocolates are kicking in. What was I just talking
about? Oh, Seabass. Are we? You know what? I do see
no,
that.
What was I just talking about?
You were talking about more. Or you were talking. I was looking at
cheese.
Yeah, something cheese.
Right. My bad.
There you go.
But wasn't there like another offshoot of Zappa that was Captain Beefheart? That shit, dude, is funny too. You could tell that like Zappa had his hands in it because it's so fucking funny. Like, but that is the deepest of nerd rock ever. Zappa, Captain Beefheart, I guess this guy Richard Cheese. I don't know. They were probably all together doing the same drugs.
Listen here. This is Gin and Juice done by Richard Cheese. Okay.
Did someone say drugs?
No, just gin and juice. Dude. Gin and juice.
Drama in the LBC. It's kind of hard being Snoop D-O double G.
but I somehow, some way keep coming up with funky ass shit every single day. I got bitches in the living room getting it on, and they ain't leaving till 6 in the morning. So we gonna smoke an ounce to this. Cheese up, hose down, while you motherfuckers bounce to this. Rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice. Laid back, with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice. Laid back, with my mind on my money and my money on my band.
But he does like this guy does like
Dude,
that same type of a style to like Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah.
And all
Yeah,
these
dude.
other things, man, and
They
it's
do.
like-
Here's the thing: the Jazz Cats. What I really like, Jazz Cats can annoy me because they're just like, "Oh, you're gonna be a musical snob tonight? Fuck you." But at the same time, they'll come in with a sense of humor, which was a lot Zappa. It was a lot Captain Beefheart. It was like I sent you a Captain Beefheart song called "Tropical Hot Dog Night," which is ridiculously stupid. It really, if you listen to it, you're like, "Why am I fucking listening to this?" But it's so brilliant in between the lines that you're like, oh, these are like mega smart music nerds that like really get the joke. Zappa got the joke, right? Like Zappa's actually, I don't know if he actually signed the deal, to get where he was or whatever, but he would come out and talk about the same shit we talk about today, which is like, the education system and everything else.
Album cover? Did you ever see that album cover he had where the toilet was upstairs and it had a tube running down from it that came into the TV?
No. Oh yeah.
That was fucking slick as cat shit on a linoleum, bro.
And he's the trickiest one of all of them because like he's saying stuff so on the nose. He's saying stuff that we talk about right now, and his music is just so sharp and funny and like hard to listen to. It's hard to listen to Zappa because if you're not if you're a casual music listener, Zappa is not going to be for you. But if you're of music and you've been in music, he is hilarious. And what you run into is like I can't figure out if he's part of that gang that came out of the canyon there, Laurel Canyon in L.A. He might be. He would be the ultimate controlled opposition character that's still part of the Laurel Canyon gang out of L.A. from that time. I think that's just my opinion, but
I've been watching some shit regarding that Manson shit. Now I already had quite a bit of knowledge of it. I'll have to dig it out somewhere. I think it's on my laptop. I'm gonna have to find them. That I have the recorded interviews with like Linda Kasabian and these other girls and shit, and I got the one with Tex Watson too. I really got into that because I found some evidence that Tex Watson was killing people before he ever met Charles Manson in the town that I lived in California, Valencia.
Was he the guy that was presented in Tarantino's picture at the end? The guy that came to do the Devil's Work?
Yeah.
That was okay. Yeah. So like, yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, that's the whole thing. That's my problem with the one conundrum I have with like I've been in music my whole life. Like, what am I supposed to do with this shit? Like the very thing that brought me up looks like it's awful.
Music is involved. Music is involved hard. Okay. Now, I believe that these people, these Manson group, at least a portion of them, were part of a government mind control MK Ultra splinter operation from it. When they were in San Francisco prior to going to LA and the Spahn Ranch, they frequented this free clinic. And they were doing experiments with LSD by giving people LSD if they agreed to do these experiments. And Manson and his crew was up there all the time. Now, one of these doctors was Dr. Jolly West, who is known to be a CIA psychiatrist. Okay. He's the guy that went in and talked to Jack Ruby and then said that he was too insane to fucking stand trial and shit.
Yeah, and I also remember, I mean,
He
the,
did.
the one thing that cued me off really was like how many military guys were doing
Well,
music.
now
Jim
this,
Morrison's dad was a fucking Navy
yeah,
fucking aircraft carrier general. Are you kidding me, dude?
he was a rear admiral and at the Gulf of Tonkin incident.
Yeah.
But did you? Okay, so here's the thing. Manson had these aspirations to be a musician. Okay, that's why that reminded me of that too. He had aspirations to be a musician, and he was regarded as pretty good. Now he became friends with Dennis Wilson from the Beach Boys. In fact, they lived at his fucking house for quite some time, and Manson was providing the poontang, and Wilson was loving it and paying for all the drugs and everything else like that, right? As he was, befriended with this man, he also met another guy, Neil Young. Now, both Neil Young as well as Dennis Wilson had suggested that they give him a record contract, and he was introduced to Terry Melcher. But Terry Melcher ended up kind of getting weirded out, and he blew him off, right? Now, he was the son of Doris Day. He was a record producer, and he lived at the house on Cielo Drive that was later occupied by Sharon Tate and visiting Jay Sebring and Abigail Folger, and the Wachowski.
This
guy.
would have been right there in that geography of Laurel Canyon. It was a small neighborhood, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
there's also like a
absolutely.
CIA outpost on the top of that, like that mount right there. That I
So
guess
I've been up
Jerry
there.
Ito owned.
Roads are really weird. It's up in the Hollywood Hills, so you're like, you're kind of like the roads are kind of like twisty and narrow and shit, and driveways just kind of shoot up off of the fucking road and shit. I've driven up by this by the house, and so I think that was one of the reasons they targeted that house, but probably didn't know that Melcher no longer lived there. Okay, and what had happened, what really drew a lot of anger was him blowing Manson off because he'd had him come out to the Spahn Ranch and auditioned and shit. And, the guy told him, yeah, you're pretty good, but pretty much like have a cigar. Don't call us, we'll call you type of thing. And that really pissed off Manson. Heavy duty, that pissed him off.
And then you got him talking from jail, which it looks like they also utilized him from
Then
jail.
him and Dennis Wilson wrote a song together. And I'm trying to remember what the fucking name of it was. Don't End Not Being or something like that. It's really kind of strange. But then Dennis Wilson took it, changed it a little bit, and changed the name. And the Beach Boys recorded it on a B-side and gave no credit at all to Manson.
Yeah.
That pissed him off. Charlie Manson broke into his house while he was sleeping and left a fucking bullet on his pillow right next to his bed.
Yeah, and the other bugger of that, well, I mean, as far as I can understand it, the only thing I've gotten from it was like, Mark Devlin from the UK. He's like the master of this shit. Like he's researched why MK Ultra worked back through Laurel Canyon all the way back into the 60s, 50s, whatever. And this might bring it full circle. Is that like the Beatles themselves are a public record saying like, yeah, rock and roll music is an extension of Jewish mysticism. And I was like, when I heard that the first time, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, whatever. Well, then if you go back and you look at who the managers were and who were running those pop outfits, like late 50s, early 60s, there were these bands were being steered around to get people to get into people so that if you got a large crowd that loves a certain group or a singer or something, then they would be easily influenced because there's a large chunk of people that, a big chunk of people that love the Beatles. I mean, there's probably not many people that could say in the 60s they didn't love the Beatles, right?
There again,
So,
why?
like,
What made them so fucking special?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It was the PR.
It was PR, and what you had was you had girls pissing in their pants in Shea Stadium in New York City, and what you had was the handlers who were handling the Beatles. They saw the effect that it had on large groups of people, and if you can control a small group of 4 guys that are playing guitars and making fun songs, I mean, I like the Beatles well enough. I thought their songs were pretty good, but like, and then you can through them make them do a certain thing that affects, I don't know, say, a million people. Then you got real power because you're just playing a puppeteer with a rock musician. And I think that's what happened with the Laurel Canyon crowd. They figured that out, and they figured out that they would get a bunch of fans to follow bands. And then, like, now we got them by the balls. And that's why you saw a lot of bands in the event in 2020 suddenly, like, Rage Against the Machine suddenly became Rage for the Machine, and like a bunch of other people that didn't, basically they walked the party line because they were obliged to do that because they were given a position to perform, and then they had to answer the boss at the end of the day because that's who's paying their rent. Their tchotchkes, their sports cars, and everything else. They got to go back and do that. So like they found a way to puppeteer through rock music and do that. And like, if you guys haven't checked out Mark Devlin, man, check him out. He's done 3 books on it now of how that shit worked to affect everyone's mentality insofar as music. Now, that being said, I need to say this. I am a lover of great music. I love, even if the music is made by a shitball, I'm still willing to be like, that's a great tune.
Yeah.
But I don't worship the fucking band. I'm just over that shit because I could just see how it works. And like all my favorite bands after 2020, about 99% of them can fuck off. Because I was like, dude, you fucking took the ticket. I could tell, and I know why you took the ticket because now you're schlepping for the fucking man, and we know who the man is. So.
Well, one I never could understand why people liked him. I can't stand him. If he comes on, I turn him the fuck off, man.
Whoa.
Bob Dylan.
Oh yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, he's he might be the ultimate example of somebody who took the ticket, and if you've seen the interview, I don't know if that's just for bullshit or like, but he just said like, yeah, I signed the deal.
I'd rather hear Brian Staveley sing karaoke than fucking Bob Dylan. Okay?
He's pretty awful singer. He's a pretty awful singer, but I don't know. Like it's the mystique. The mystique of Bob Dylan lives on. But he admitted that if you agree to his words, he said I signed an agreement with the admiral. What was his exact words? Not the admiral, the chief of this realm and things unseen. And he did it on 60 Minutes, and people would be like, that's just Bob Dylan being Bob Dylan. He did well. I don't know, man. I mean, like the backstory of this character is so complete.
Because think about this. He's not a good singer.
No.
Okay. A lot of his songs are nothing but fucking nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And he's at best a mediocre guitarist.
Yeah.
But he rocketed to this level of fame and legend. What the fuck?
Out of nowhere. And if you caught it, like if you watch the newest Bob Dylan movie, and I caught it, and I watched exactly what happened, they manufactured his backstory that he came from a circus.
The time was dead. Yeah.
No, they manufactured his backstory. He came from working for the circus in Minnesota. And of course, they didn't talk about his actual last name, Zimmerman, which is curious. And then they manufactured like he was this wild man from a circus in Minnesota. It's all manufactured backstory to create a legend so that you'll follow what this guy does. And then you will agree with him if perhaps he says something that means something in the whole social scape. And that's how they do with all rock bands. That's how they do it. A manufactured movement.
Oh, that guy, man, fuck him.
Oh, Shannon, yeah. Eddie Vedder, same. Like some of my favorite bands ever. And it was funny. You know what's funny in 2020? It was so easy to spot. You're like, oh, you're chilling. You're chilling. You're chilling. You're chilling. You're chilling. And like the ones that you would have expected to rebel the most didn't. And that would include Neil Young, one of my favorite songwriters ever. he didn't do it either. I'm like, dude, you shilt motherfucker. I could see you from a mile away. You
What's he
fucking.
actually even saying? Is all the way can hell, I'm a winner all the way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry to ruin that, you guys, for like, if you guys, I mean, I still like their songs. I think, you know, I can still play them and whatever, but like, the agreement they apparently signed, you know, kind of like, I don't care about the person who wrote the song anymore. It's like, hey, it's a good song, thank you. And that would be saying something about, you know, Lightbringer or Lucifer, the chief musician of the court. Maybe that was his contribution to me liking the song. Doesn't mean I like him. You know, but like we have all these questions now that are kind of unraveling, and we're like, these bands, I used to love them, I fucking loved them, and then it's just like, dude, you're not raging against the machine, you're fucking raging with the machine, dude. You know, and it's like, you know, Rage Against the Machine used to be like this band that everyone's like, those motherfuckers are gonna save us. Those guys are the ultimate. No, you're not. They weren't. They
Hey,
weren't.
so I think somebody's timing people out that don't know they're timing people out in the chat.
The what now? Who's
I
timing
think
out?
somebody. Yeah.
It's Barbara, I think, but I don't see her in
Don't
there.
timing out a bunch of people, man. That's
No,
fucked
no.
up.
I think it may be like accidental. You know, like
Well,
timing or something. You know.
I don't see any notes.
Yeah.
Oh wait, there it is. Slow
Yeah.
boiling frog was timed out by what for?
Sirius B, Tommy, Tell the Truth. There was a bunch of people timed out for nothing. I mean, I think it's accidental though.
I don't think it's her. I think it's somebody trying to put. I don't know. I don't know how they would do that without her wrench, though. That's just
I don't know. You know, she was there earlier, so she may have had it on and may sleeping and fucking hit her hand or something on it or something. You know, if it's a laptop, who knows?
So it was. Wait a second. He deleted his comment about why somebody else sub ratio was timed out. Why was sub ratio timed?
Don't know.
Anyway, I've been hogging the stage all night. I'm gonna keep listening, but I'm getting off here. Keep crushing, guys.
Yeah. Just a
Michael
second
Howard.
here.
Cheers.
I don't know if there's any way to undo the timeout. Barbara, you're gonna have to stop doing that. I don't see why you did that. Yeah. Just here it's 86,000 seconds. Barbara, what the hell, dude? What is slow boiling frogs getting? You're getting kind of like crazy with your timing out. I'm gonna have to stop that. Let's see, what is it? Any of you that have been timed out, just hanging there. No more is it going to happen. I will make sure of that. I don't know how to undo it, but
yeah, I don't either.
No, I don't think there is a way, really.
There may be, but I don't know. I've never done it. So.
Yeah, I can't have that. That's kind of rogue. Good God, she's just going through here on a fucking rampage doing this shit. What the hell is going on?
Man. That's what I was telling you.
What the fuck is going on, Barbara? She's gonna have to not be a moderator anymore. That's all.
I don't know if she was really truly doing it or if it was like accidental.
I don't know. Whoever's in there as her or whatever else is gonna have to go because this is not acceptable at all. And I'm gonna have to go into, let's see. Wait, here we go over here. Moderation, community moderation.
Hey, on the same stream that you have, I have the most amazing audience. You fucking somebody times out your fucking audience.
I know what, that's some fucked up shit.
Yeah, what are the odds? What are the odds of that happening?
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking somebody might have hacked it, dude. I traced down
You
my
may
hacker.
you may be right, Raj. That may be no shit there.
Yeah. The first time I got hacked is when I downloaded David Weiss's app. That they got
anybody that got timed out on that shit, please don't let it discourage you. I understand it's hard to type in the chat, but that was some fucking asshole bullshit right there. I didn't even
yeah, it was.
That was some fucking bullshit. Oh,
That's what
will
makes
it?
you a
I
saddle
didn't
bum.
even know what was happening. Tommy, tell the truth. He texted me. He said, "Hey man, why the fuck did I get timed out?" I said, "I don't know."
And now
Yeah,
they're
see,
saddle bum. See saddle bum. Look at the
yeah,
last
yeah, I did.
comment. Yeah, yeah. That's not
I don't.
him. I'm sure
It
of it.
doesn't let me do anything about bringing them up at all.
Yeah.
If you can do it, if you know how to do it, one of y'all out there that's got a wrench.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, man. That's fucking bullshit right there. What the hell going on? A goddamn. And then GT Mustang gets timed out by Saddlebum? Why is Saddlebum
No,
doing that?
he's not. I don't think it's him, man. I really don't.
Huh. That's odd.
Did anybody else experience any problems with YouTube? Like, I don't know.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Like,
Earlier. Yeah.
Resetting them. I got it. God damn.
You got it?
Man.
Cool.
It
Well, I
was
hope
like I
straighten
don't know,
out
about an hour. I
Thank
couldn't
you.
open everything.
Everybody.
It was like skipping or something. We try to play a video or a song or music or anything. It was like
On what? On here?
On YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
No, on YouTube earlier tonight.
Yeah, mine was down for like an hour almost.
We've had some really crazy shit going on around here, man. Like even with my phone earlier, I was texting people and letting them know that Brandy had passed.
I get it.
And I sent
Saddle
a picture
bumps.
of her grave, and man, it'd come back and say message couldn't be sent. I look and I got like one bar, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? I always got like full bars right here. So they've been screwing with the communications and everything.
I agree.
Maybe there was a solar flare.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Most likely. No shit. Wow.
And the solar winds are blowing around all the communications.
Yeah. It's refractor gravelax. It's exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
I love that when James Freeman. That's a picture of James Freeman. He's been going beast mode here recently on this department. That he's bird dogging them hard now. He got arrested for telling the cop to shut up. It's like, what law is that?
I don't know. I've never heard of that one before.
What fucking law is that? Yeah, you told the cop to shut up. Well, so what?
Well, I hurt his feelings, yeah. Well, poor feelings.
I don't have to just automatically like you. I don't believe that fucking McGruff the crime dog bullshit you tried to feed us in school.
No. Take a bite out of crime.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Use that poor dog.
Fucking Scooby. That was Scooby Doo's fucking cousins. Who that was, I think.
Good man.
Oh, this is pretty good. Look, they're setting it up right now. It's this guy Mike Johnson is pretty much setting it up so that anybody that you listen to yourself. Right. Oops. Mike Johnson. His last name should be Hunt.
Mike Hunt. Yeah.
I encourage you to watch. We call it the Hate America rally that'll happen Saturday. Let's see who shows up for that. I bet you see pro-Hamas supporters. I bet you see Antifa types. I bet you see the Marxists in full display, the people who don't want to stand and defend the foundational truths of this republic. And we do. And that's what we're here doing every single day. And we'll continue to come in every morning and tell the American people the plain and simple facts. Because the facts are going to win the day here. The American people are not stupid. They see what's going on. I encourage you to watch. We call it the Hate America rally that'll happen Saturday. Let's see who shows up for that.
Hate America rally. Because there are people that are objectionable to the dictatorial king-like powers that the president of the United States is assuming, up to and including raising a fucking standing army against his own nation. The last time that was done was in 1861 by Abraham Lincoln. See,
and what happened to him? He got shot in a theater, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
That's what they said.
So what is the actual thing that's Saturday? It's not really named Hate America, right? That's just what they're claiming?
Yeah, I don't know.
If you're not down with all the fucking let's see. Is this where I'm at? Hang on a second.
Who was that guy? Was he some congressman or some bullshit?
Oh, that's Mike Johnson.
Yeah, who the fuck is he? I've never heard of him.
If somebody can get Valley Parks undone, let's see if I can find her.
Who's he? I never. Is he like a Republican? I mean, is he like Democrat or?
He's
I
a
don't know none of these.
He's a
Yeah.
Republican, the Speaker of the House.
So are these? So if the government shut down, why are these fucking officials, state actors? Why are they still going to the shut down government to act like they're trying to do government?
Well, I don't know, man. If nobody told me the government shut down, I wouldn't even.
I wouldn't give a fuck. Yeah, I know, dude. I know.
I really
I
wouldn't.
wouldn't. You
know.
wouldn't. You wouldn't.
Yeah, I got Valley Park, so I'm gonna time him out for 10 seconds. I should be able to
All
bring
right.
him back.
All right. I don't know. Thank you. So this is.
Well,
this
you
is
can
some-
still get on panel if you get timed out.
I certainly hope that wasn't Barbara actually doing that, but
I know, man. I don't think it would be, dude. I swear. But I could be wrong.
They're on a real evangelical kick here recently, man. I noticed on Facebook, really chastising people and shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I got you.
not good.
Well,
Not supposed to do that.
No.
You let Dad take care of it, man. That's what happens.
Yeah.
You let God take care of it.
Kill them
Yeah,
all,
I
let
was-
God judge them. Ain't that what they say?
Yeah, right. Send him up. What was that? Charles Bronson told that guy he had him puffed up against the wall there, and the guy was wearing a cross, and he goes, "Oh," he says, "Do you believe in Jesus?" And he goes, "Yes, yes, sir, yes, I do." And he says, "Good, you're about to meet him." Boom. I love them those Death Wish movies.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
Those are always really good. I like those. Man, I'll tell you what. You ever heard of an app called Tubi?
Yeah.
Tubi, yeah. That's great, man. They've got some good movies on there, some older ones and shit. I've been watching the fuck out of Tubi.
I think it's free too, isn't it? Has it got commercials or?
Yeah, it's got commercials, and it comes up and warns you that a commercial's coming up in like 8 seconds. And it'll
So you
tell
can
you
go piss or something.
tells you how many commercials there's going to be too. So yeah, you got time to go piss, and it's
That is
never
handy, yeah.
really too long, no. So yeah, it's pretty good. There's a lot of good movies and shit on there. I was pretty glad I found that thing, because sometimes you go on some of these streaming and it's like, who in the fuck comes up with where are these movies that suck? And you have to go back. Oh yeah, I remember this one. Boy, that was a good movie back in the day. But it looks like they're drawing lines, man. They really are. Like you're either down with whatever Trump's doing, or you're against America.
Yep. It's not. Yeah, it's kind of looking that way.
How far away from that is who? Last one there's a fag. I mean, that is that really? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
It's merely queer.
Listen,
by the Israeli lobby.
The noticing, I gotta tell you, the noticing is really going on. Here's one of these politicians and people asking him questions.
What are you doing about the starving children in Gaza? What are you doing?
Taking money from AIPAC with respect. That's something that is infiltrated our government.
AIPAC money. Watch Congressman Jake Auchincloss discover in real time that his voters know he's bought and paid for by the Israeli lobby.
I wondered whether if you had not accepted AIPAC money, whether you'd change your feeling about speaking about Israel-Palestine.
I think we as citizens and as policymakers have to hold in our heads competing convictions and ideas.
Me personally, I'm concerned with AIPAC, and I was just wondering if you particularly or anyone you know of has any plans to try to reduce this problem.
What are you doing to prevent the use of our taxes to starve and kill people in Gaza?
Yeah.
You were elected by us.
I've addressed Israel and Gaza now on, I think, 3 separate occasions, so we're going to keep moving on.
So I know you don't really want to take any more questions about Gaza, but I'm going to ask you to think about it.
Starvation is not
is not what my tax dollars should go to.
I hear the sense of emotional urgency behind Gaza. I've addressed that issue. I'm not going to continue to address the issue.
I want to know, aside from taking money from AIPAC, with respect, that's something that is infiltrated our government.
What are you going to do?
What do you plan to do to end the killing of Palestinians in Gaza while they are trying to access food?
Nothing.
I've addressed the Gaza issue on numerous times.
So you don't plan to do anything to end the killing of Palestinians?
Do you believe killing children and civilians in the name of strategic defense is ever justified? Yes or no?
A somewhat related question. I want to make clear I'm a lifetime Democrat, and I will probably continue to be. But I also feel that all three branches of our government are betraying the people of the United States right now.
Yep. You nailed it.
I mean, more and more people are coming to that realization every day. And
What are you doing about?
oh my God, for the first time in a couple weeks, seems like my For You feed on X is back to normal. It was nothing but Jew post after Jew post after post. It was insane. It was insane. I couldn't even get by it. Did you see that stupid thing? Mike Huckabee was playing guitar or playing bass with some motherfucker, and they were doing a really bad, worse than karaoke rendition of Sweet Home Alabama, but they changed Alabama to some fucking place in Israel.
Really?
Yeah, it was really bad. He's a suck up. One of these fucking Christian Zionists. They're some of the worst. They're some of the worst. I have never seen such brainwashed fucking people. Well, I have. Just not. Boy, people are really, a lot of people are under some delusions. Really have.
Yeah.
It's frightening. It's frightening. And they think that they're superior because they believe in the delusions that they're in.
Yeah, like thinking they live on a spinning fucking globe.
Yes.
They're fucking flying around in space. That's pretty goddamn delusional, in my opinion.
But teacher said, oh, he comes down to that.
Yeah.
I would go that would be around probably 80% of the people you run into on a day-to-day basis.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Is this Donald Trump Jr.? I think it is. It's one of the.
They've been hiding the Nephilim Byron Trump at lately. You ain't seen much of him.
He probably has become to such a grand stature that people would start.
No, didn't you hear? He made $88 billion on the crypto crash.
Oh, yeah, I think somebody
Wow.
said something about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, he did.
He's off making some kind of a love child with Greta Thunberg.
Yeah.
There is a select few that could have got rich off of this. They were the ones doing all the selling kind of thing or something, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, I can name one name that actually did crypto big time, and his name starts with a J and ends with an N.
Who is this guy? This is Eric Trump, right?
Junin?
Yeah, I think that is.
Junin?
Judas.
Judas, that's it.
Yeah, there you are. Yeah.
Listen to this. This is blasphemous as hell.
Us. And yet here we are, and we have this amazing peace, deal on Charlie Kirk's birthday. I can't tell you how many things are lining up. I mean, think about the fact that this book came out on Charlie Kirk's birthday, on the same day as we have peace in the Middle East. I mean, so many different factors are all coming together at once in the most unthinkable, unbelievable journey. You couldn't have scripted this. You could not, the wildest author could not have scripted this book and the trials and tribulations and twists and turns to get to where we are today. We're saving Christianity. We're saving God. We're saving
Christianity, saving God.
The family unit. We're saving this nation. I mean, DEI is out the window, Benny. I mean, you no longer have Colin Kaepernick kneeling for the national, for the national anthem. You no longer have, a Budweiser going woke as hell. Right? All of this is dead for us.
Saving Christianity, saving God. Who the fuck are you to save God?
Yeah.
Get that from, man?
It's a pretty bold statement, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Wow, I would have never thought, that somebody would actually say that, but they did.
Wow, yeah.
And telling you that they didn't script it. There's no way this could have been scripted.
Yeah, right. Which means that it's scripted in every fucking way, shape, and form. I don't know. I got some crazy shit out here. Oh, what's this? We always like Jake TV, right? These are pretty.
Good news, guys.
Well, big news for us. We are getting paid $7,000 for this episode.
Israel is our greatest ally.
Don't mention Jackie either. It truly is a field day for influencers supporting Israel. We'd like to call it the genocide gold rush. What brings you here?
$7,000, baby.
Why does nobody talk about how bad the sand people are? All these other influencers are antiseptic. It's like, look up the definition of genocide.
Good point. Right, John.
That's right, Goyim. Enjoy your shekels while they last. But first off, we need to crack down on the rampant anti-Semitism.
like
and let's hear from my boy Sam,
Shapiro.
who's definitely not a war criminal.
Now, given the anti-Semitism at the UN, it should surprise no one that the prosecutor at the ICC is considering issuing arrest warrants against me and Israel's defense minister. It's hard to explain by anything other than pure anti-Semitism.
Sure, that's
Pure anti-Septicism.
Yeah, you definitely didn't keep him in an open-air prison and starve him.
Exactly. Keep spinning it, Satan. You're on a roll.
Until this anti-Semitic swamp is drained, the real war criminals are not in Israel. They're in Iran. They're in Gaza, in Syria, in Lebanon, in Yemen.
Oh, no. Looks like the Muslims are going to come for us next.
Only if the chosen people kick them out and open our borders.
True.
Let's go to Jackie reporting live from Gaza. Jackie won't make it. Now, sand people, why are you so evil?
You have to help us.
Right. I'm taking your home, by the way. They must be so happy you're there to document their story, right, Producer Steen?
Hurry, quick, brother. I might have left my pager in there. Can you believe they said, help me?
Producer Berg's assistant's been acting kind of weird ever since he left to Israel.
Straight up, ever since Jackie went missing.
Active investigation leads us to Captain Dan, who says,
We have the body.
Thanks, Chloe. So we saw the surveillance camera of Producer Berg throwing a big bag into the dumpster behind the station. I sent one of my officers out to look at it, and we have it here behind me for investigation. That's weird. I didn't know there was a pager.
Shut it down! You can find Jackie's body bag next to the Epstein files, and up yours, Goy. Now, that's what I like to see. A little solidarity for the chosen people. We have been victims in the dawn of time, and we're not going to let you stupid Goyim run your mouth on TikTok. Back to you, Goyim.
Well, now that we lost our 7,000, whatever happened to the weapons of mass destruction?
I heard that was fake. We had no reason to be in the Middle East, like, at all.
Yeah, that's based. You don't just accidentally bomb a hospital twice and then call it an accident. Noticing is antiseptic.
I counted 12 explosions, bro.
Even though they denied our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, I think we should bless them because of some verse I am going to take out of context. Just ask Trump. He is a Christian, I think.
I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven. Okay, I really don't. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound.
Ha! What do you think, Dennis? Sounds Jewish. Anyways, if you're still not following Jake GTV, you're not only retarded, but a loser too. Never been based, ever.
It's an honor to be here with the first Jewish president of the United States.
So, where did you find
news,
Jake
guys.
TV?
Well, big.
On X.
Nice.
Here, I'll put the link in the chat.
Cool.
Oh, there we go.
Who's Rocky E?
That's some funny shit, though.
Oh,
Right there.
is that Rocky here? Oh boy.
Yeah, he's in the back.
Hi, Rocky. I didn't see you back there, man. Because I'm indulging on a lot of fucking peanut butter balls.
I love peanut
Oh,
butter balls.
Here's some good questions. I've been asking this same shit, right? And listen to this. This is great.
Has anybody heard where Charlie Kirk is buried, by the way?
Nope.
Has Charlie Kirk been buried? Has there been a funeral, or was it just the pyrotechnic infused, fundraiser that was spied on by a company that deployed geofencing technology, which is an Israeli-based company, which Erica Kirk's mom sits on the board of directors for? Was it that? Was that it? Was that the only funeral? The same company that Erica Kirk is on the board for, this Israeli-based geofencing, aka spy company. Was it that company that spies on churches, that spies on Christians, that knows when they're at church so that they can flood their phones with pro-Israel propaganda? Was it those people? These are the people that are just, there's a lot of anomalies here. There are a lot of weird circumstances all the way around with this thing. Has Charlie Kirk been buried? Does anybody know that? Was there an actual funeral for close family members? Did the media cover that at all? What cemetery has he been buried in? The chain of custody, the alleged chain of custody of Charlie Kirk's body going directly in to the custody of the vice president, J.D. Palantir, flew in with Air Force Two, picked up Charlie Kirk's body and took it to some undisclosed location. And I do hear a lot of things about Valhalla.
Yeah, that is a good question. Yeah.
Has anybody heard where Charlie...
Why are they going to Valhalla?
I don't know. Good question. But the good question is, where is Charlie Kirk's body, and did they have a funeral? I didn't see anything.
Oh yeah, I've been asking about that. I'm like, wait a second, man. Where the fuck is he buried at? Because remember there was talk about him laying in state in the Capitol Rotunda and all this dumb shit.
Where only few people have ever been placed. You have to be like a hero. Yeah.
Yeah. And just that he wasn't, I wouldn't say a hero of any kind at all. He pushed this fucking evil Zionist agenda as hard as possible. I know that. He was one of these Schofield Bible fuck ups, man. I'm sorry, people who are going by that shit are misled so badly.
I brought it up to a friend of mine, the whole Charlie Kirk thing, and he hadn't heard anything about it really. Most of the normies out there, they don't know anything really in detail. They're just going with what the media tells them. For the most part. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't. People are fucking stupid. A lot of people are just stupid out there. I've noticed that. I ran into a really interesting fella down here at the store. I'd seen him down there before, and it seems like I've chatted with him a little bit. But we got into a pretty deep discussion down there. I was down there much longer than I expected to be. But he seemed to be on the same page with a lot of things that I was talking about. So I don't know if he's watching the channel. Maybe he's not. I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure to run into him again. It's a pretty small town, especially if we frequent the same store.
Yeah.
There's a whole, I wouldn't trade this. I've been back to the city before, at least visit, and I'm like, as soon as I'm there, I'm sort of like, I'm ready to get the fuck on out, get back here to where I can breathe, where I feel comfortable,
I could go for a visit, watch a baseball game or something, but then I'm like, nah. I could probably stay for a few days, but
it takes its toll on me. I have to say that. But I'll tell you what, right now I'm feeling the best I felt in quite some time. And the world, the universe seems to be in order and in balance to me right now. I don't know, I have a lot of peace right now. I think it's pretty cool. And I just watch these illusions and go, what the fuck? This is so crazy. This whole acting thing. And now you never know what's real.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Everything is though it's fake. This like here's a message from President Obama.
Hey guys, it's Barry. I've been hearing some rumors online regarding my wife's penis. And I just wanted to clear the air. Yes, my wife does have a penis. Yes, it's a bit long and it does dangle when she dances. But just please stop calling her Big Mike. She really hates that shit. Okay? Thank you. Hey guys.
That's pretty fucking convincing.
Whatever you say, Big Mike.
You know, I mean, that's pretty convincing.
The AI is good there. I'm telling you. Yeah, they'll never address that issue, even though people probably ask them about it. It's been brought up, I'm sure.
They live.
This is kind of interesting. Check this out.
What's up with the chair, man? Talk about the chair. Steven Crowder. Talk about the chair. Ben Shapiro. Talk about the chair. Matt Walsh.
The chair's building 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
That was David Copperfield, man. That's who did the chair.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Pass right there.
They're just laughing at everybody that's fucking just believing any of it. I mean, as soon as it happened, dude, I was like, that's fake as fuck. It didn't take me 1 second. It didn't fool me for 1/2 a fucking second. I mean, I don't know why. Maybe I got great eyes. I don't know. But
Well, I think it's you got the sunglasses on, babe. You got the sunglasses on. You know what I'm
I
saying?
do. Yeah.
You know what?
You got one that can see. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Never let them know that they can see you, or you can see them.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, they're all inverts, and we can see them now. Well,
Listen to this fucking evil son of a bitch. What's up, Rocky? What'd you say?
How come so many Hollywood actors and politicians are inverted?
Oh, I don't know, man. You know, I think it stems way back to part of it to the early days of acting. You know, there were no women
Right.
allowed to perform in theater, so all the female roles were always played by men.
Mhm.
And they're again using a mask or a disguise or a persona, adopting a personality. Acting is actually a form of magic. If I can make you believe that I am someone else other than who I am,
Right.
I've performed a grand illusion on you. That's a form of magic.
Yeah, and the oracles in the Greek oracles were also inverted way back. They've been doing it forever.
They talk about angels being anatomically like, you know, like they don't procreate per se, like some
They're androgynous.
conditions. Right. Some say.
Yeah, they think they're going to become gods. The Baphomet.
You do have to admit, though, now Baphomet does have a nice set of boobies. I mean, they're pretty, you know, they're firm, not too big.
They set up pretty good, yeah. Probably fake.
They are called stars, you know, movie
That go-ahead
stars.
that kind of fucks me up, though. See, that's not into no go heads, and definitely not into no penises. But you know, nice tits though.
Yeah, you know, I think we score points on either side. I'm gonna step out, but I think we score points when you work for the good guys, and when you do really bad shit, you get points for the bad guys. And like, I don't know, some people are just really trying to tip the scale. Like they just, you know, they glorified it. Like I listened to that "Sympathy for a Devil" like just before,
Yeah.
and then I heard it a couple times. And I was like,
when Jesus
yeah.
Christ
Do
had
you
his
think
Lord
that? Do you think
without
this?
faith.
So they made it cool, right? So then everybody wanted to do it, and it just kept like spiraling from there. And now it's like, you know,
Made damn sure the pilot washed his hands.
What do you
when
think of the Statue of Liberty? Is the Statue of Liberty the light bearer, Lucifer?
Yeah,
Pleased to meet you. Dressed in drag. My name.
It's so obvious. It's so obvious.
I'd go for a walk in the park to find out. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah.
I mean, we are. We're Babylon. You know, the Great Babylon.
Well, Saab, you got a guy in the audience who wants to join something bad. Hey.
Well, where is he?
I don't know. It's Bryce Sully, whoever that is. I have no idea who.
Bryce Sully. He's helping. Bryce Sully, up at the top, pinned in the chat, is the link. Here, I'll even put it down here. Oh, there you go.
Well, Saddlebum already did it. Yeah.
There you go. Thank you, Saddlebum. I was about to do that very thing.
Have you researched Satan's little season eschatology?
A bit, yeah. You know, I see so much division amongst so-called Christians over this topic. And I have to look at it this way. Look, we've been deceived on so many levels. We cannot be sure absolutely for one. We know that the only true place that God's word is actually written is in the hearts of men. So, as long as you're abiding by the covenant, whether the millennial reign is coming or whether it already has come, you're good to go. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
It's fun and interesting to try to figure out that, you know, there's been a lot of deception. We're not told about a civilization that was obviously here before us. The architecture showed that the similarity in architecture worldwide in places you don't even think is astounding. Like my lunch break is uncovered with all these fucking ossuaries everywhere. Who were these people? Where did these bones come from? Why are they all preserved? Why are they held in tunnels underneath the earth? What the fuck is going on here?
I don't know. That's wild shit. All those tunnels, all those skulls and shit are underground. That's wild.
Yeah, well, the Vatican's got the biggest one.
These artworks, these statues with the fingers cut off them or the hands cut off. Some obviously, you know, left intact, but with a toe obviously chiseled out, a space where a whole toe would go, so that there would only be 5. You know, there was something about this. I think that a lot of those statues may depict what were known as the mighty men of renown. You know what I'm saying? We don't know it, but we can explore that. You know. What's happening, Bryce Sully? I'm glad you could finally make it. I see you. I guess you were having trouble.
Have you watched?
Hold on, Rocky. Brian, I think you're muted or something. There, you got sound? Say something. Go ahead and say something, Brian.
Rookie mistake. Hate to say it.
We can't hear you, man.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, there you go.
I'm hearing 10 different voices at one time.
Oh, have you got?
I don't know if it's me. This is my first time doing it.
Are you watching this on another device as well as being on StreamYard? You close YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm on YouTube on my phone.
Yeah, but you joined onto StreamYard. So you're in StreamYard now. Okay, so you can close YouTube.
Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry.
All right, sorry you have to figure that out. Yeah, you can only be on. Go ahead and let me put you backstage so you can just hear it one at a time or something. Or maybe, yeah, that ain't gonna help you either. Yeah, we'll just, unless you figure it out or whatever, we'll see what happens. So you're about to
try muting it. Yeah, try muting YouTube. That's what I do. I just mute it.
I don't think he understands.
Hey, Saul.
Yeah.
Hey, Saul. You know how back, I think when they were talking about like the Incas or whatever, you know how they would like supposedly like sacrifice all those people just one after the other? Do you think like something like that, and then they just took all them bones and stuck them in there and made patterns out of them as part of a ritual, or what they did after sacrificing all those people?
I believe maybe so, because of the the geometry involved with a lot of it too. And it's really interesting. My big question is where they come from. There again, do you talk about that, or the Aztecs and shit, when you have the winged, the feathered serpent? Again, there's that reference to the serpent. You ever look at an Alfa Romeo's logo? It's literally a fucking like serpent eating a man.
Yeah.
I think
All the
Alfa Romeo
logos.
was like a sea dragon eating a man. I think it's what it's supposed to be. Yeah.
Can I just say something? I might be miles behind time.
Yeah, go ahead.
I might. My mum has got, she watches you all the time, so.
Oh, wow.
And I'm now getting into flat Earth. I'm literally opening my eyes. I'm getting into it now.
Mm-hmm. That's good, man. That's good. I mean, it opens your eyes up to so many other deceptions. Like I've said a million times before on here.
I watch a lot of stuff, and you might know all this, but I watched something earlier on, and it was to do with school and prison.
Yeah. Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
I watched a video how they're so similar.
Same
It's
thing
almost
they
like
do in-
school. You go to school and they're setting you up for prison. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only difference is they give you a Bible when you go to prison, but they don't allow it in school.
Yeah, good point, Rocky. Good point.
That's funny, dude. Yeah, nice one, Rocky.
Good point. Yeah, good point. Well, just take a look. That's really great, Brian, that you're getting into that. Learn as much as you can. I don't know if you're still having your audio issues right now or not. I hope you get those worked out.
I can hear you guys. Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Okay, great. So, like anytime you've got any kind of a question, I'll try to answer it. And if I can't, then we'll find out together, if it's possible. That's the way I look at it. But look at this reprehensible evil that lives in the world. Can you believe anybody would say this? Listen to this.
חס וחלילה. פשעי מלחמה זה
I'm
אני, אתה
for
רגל
war
על הגב.
crimes.
פשעי מלחמה זה אני.
Let me just mute this so you don't have to hear all that hawking and shit that they say. He says, I am for the war crimes. I don't care if I am criticized, and I honestly don't care. I am unable to sleep if I do not see houses being destroyed in Gaza. What do I say? More houses, more buildings. I want to see more of them destroyed. I want there to be nothing for them to return to. In the Torah, wait. Hold on, let me go back to a second. In the Torah, it says they used. You want to mute when you cough there, bud? Hey, mute when you cough. In the Torah, it says they used to spread the earth with salt. Yeah, when they took over, and they must complain. This is why we cannot reach a solution with them, and that is what war crimes mean to me. Well, that's pretty fucking evil. And what he's talking about is when they would conquer an area. When they would conquer an area, they would spread a bunch of salt on the ground so that it was unable to grow any crops and shit. Made it infertile. Huh. They're reprehensible.
So they poison the land so nobody can use it again.
Right.
Yeah. After they kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Here's a guy. Check this out. So this guy. He's a Dutch guy that lived in Israel during Saddam's rocket attacks in the 90s and was refused the gas mask because he wasn't Jewish. How fucked up is that? And if you say that bullshit, they'll say, oh, you're racist, you're anti-Semitic. What?
I've lived in Israel
Really?
And I've never been discriminated as much as in Israel. It's a horrible country.
Are you an Israeli?
No. I had an Israeli girlfriend, and I was glad to go home, back to Holland.
How long you stayed there?
About a year.
How did it feel like? When was that?
When Saddam Hussein was sending the Scud rockets.
90s.
And everybody got a gas mask. And because I was not a Jew or Israeli, I could pass the line. You don't count.
Really?
It's
That's already in the 90s.
Oh yeah. It's a horrible place.
And you left your girlfriend to leave Israel?
Yeah.
Okay.
But she lives in Italy now, but that's a totally different story. But
She's still there?
in Italy.
Oh, okay.
She lives in Italy now. She doesn't like the country too.
There's a gas attack coming in, and he goes to get in line for a gas mask, and they say, "No, you're not a Jew. You don't get one."
Have you
Nice
noticed it?
fucking people, man. God's chosen, huh?
Well, they're an expert on gassing, aren't they?
Did you know that Hamas was basically really just Israel? They're a part of it. They're funded by Israel. It's a psyop. They control both sides.
Yep. They had like a straw man, boogeyman that he could, they could shoot some rockets into Israel or kill some Israelis. And of course, we know what the Hannibal directive is, that to drive up support for going after them. And then what they do is encroach further in, take more of the land, take more of the houses, colonize it, and keep squeezing these people over years and years. Pretty soon, you squeeze something, the pressure is going to get too fucking hot. But these fuckers can't wait. They just want to decimate these people. They're not wanting to. I think it's bullshit, is what it is. It's supremacy. It's racist. It's evil. These people have to be fucking brought to heels. That's all there is to it. They need to be brought to heels. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they will be eventually. They'll get theirs.
Look at here. This is pretty crazy. It says the history we're taught is filled with esoteric code. Don't believe me? Let's break down the story of how Isaac Newton came up with the theory of gravity and its connection with modern technology. This might be cool.
Oh, that's
funny,
JT.
Even the story of Isaac Newton. So how did he discover gravity? Well, of course, he was sitting under a tree and an apple hit him on the head. Children, can I explain you this? He already knew things fell down. Everybody knows things fall to the ground. That is not how he came up with the theory of gravity. The apple is symbolic of the tree. Once again, the tree of knowledge and good and evil. If you actually look up the old Apple logos, the very first ones, it's literally Isaac Newton sitting under the tree. So what did they change that logo to? An apple with a bite out. You guys understand what that means? Do you remember when they sold the first Apple computer? It was $666.66. Do you think these are coincidences? Like, no, that is what they're telling you without telling. It's funny, even
Nah.
Have you ever read the full theory of general gravity before? Like it just, you know what it really says? It just says everything has mass, everything attracts everything. It's just a broad statement.
Yeah, and with really no foundations in reality.
Nope.
Especially when the medium is
I'm still learning, so I'm getting there. But my mum is quite switched on. She tells me stuff. So,
well, think about this, okay? Think of rising and falling the same as floating or sinking, because never is there an instance where an object is not subject to a fluid medium. And what is a fluid? A fluid is basically a description of something and not necessarily the material itself. Okay. The fluidity of the substance is why it's called a fluid. So liquids and gases fall into the category of that. They can go anywhere. But they do have somewhat different properties from one another. For instance, water cannot be compressed, but air can. Okay. We happen to reside in a medium of air, okay, a gas medium, in which objects are much denser in ratio to the medium in which they're subjected to. So rather than the medium displacing us to our rightful place of equilibrium, we seek a point of equilibrium within the medium. Of course, we never find it because the ground stops us, and this is where we stand. Okay? There's nothing pulling you down. You just sink in this medium. Same thing will happen to you if you try to swim in gasoline. You'll sink, not like you're buoyant like you are in water. It's much different because of the density, the ratio to the object. So when you go into the water, okay, you swim out to where the water's over your head, and you're up there on top of on the water, swimming through it and everything. In the bottom, the ground is way beneath you, and in some instances, depending on where you are, it can be hundreds of feet beneath you. In a sense, you are flying because you're above the earth. The earth is down at the bottom of the water, isn't it? But the fluid medium that you're subjected to displaces you rather than you displacing the water. And you find your point of equilibrium within the two mediums of air and water, which is somewhere just below the surface of the water. But that's where we find the most equilibrium at. It's that simple. And you change the medium, you change the observed effect. Another thing that they never can answer, and this is where they come up with that stupid E equals MC squared bullshit, which is dumb. Think about it. Even what that equation means, you're like, what? That's stupid. But the idea of, they say all the time, oh, well, mass attracts mass. Okay, if you believe that, why does mass attract mass? Well, what do you mean, why? Well, why? If mass, if something can only move if a force is applied to it, how is mass creating a force to move another object? How is that occurring? Where does that energy come from? We all know that energy can't be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred. Where does the energy for the mass to create a gravitational force come from? And why does it never diminish? Even a magnet loses its magnetism over time.
Yeah, if that were true, if mass attract mass is true, the world or the so-called universe would have gone out of existence a long time ago. What do you think? Yeah, it would have all been.
You even get into the whole idea of like, okay, well, how do we have an atmosphere? What you call an atmosphere. First off, gas can only take the shape of its container. Same with that's another property of fluids. They'll take the shape of the container. And in order for them to be in a mass, especially for gases, in order for gas to be in a mass, it has to be collected together into that mass. And how does that occur? Not from gravity, unless anyone can show or demonstrate that gravity has any effect on your gas.
At one time, yeah.
What's that, Brian?
Probably just me.
I didn't understand. Say it again. I didn't understand you, bro.
Your mic's a little garbled, Bri. Try saying that again.
But yeah, so that's another quagmire they have with that, and this is why they had to come up with this. Oh, they're bending space down, and it's like, what? Shut up. Bending emptiness.
Yeah, they use formulas and try to x plus y plus z plus m squared minus.
Yeah, it's a fantastical mathematical construct based on assumptive shit. And that's it. Out of the mind of a madman. I mean, it's not science at all. It's just what? Yeah. So people like to pretend that, oh, I understand this. No, you don't. Shut up. Nobody. It doesn't make any sense if you really think on it. And they always have to show it with a trampoline and a fucking bowling ball. Well, I'm sorry, emptiness is not a trampoline. Emptiness is not substance, unless you're suggesting there's a medium to distort, unless you're suggesting there's a medium being displaced. And if you are, what is that medium that's being displaced? Doesn't make any sense.
Good question, but a lot of people like to nail that one down with ether. It's the ether,
Well, I lost my kid when he was taking quantum theory and math, and that's where the evolution is the quantum theory bullshit they taught in school. All a bunch of. I knew there was a reason I hated algebra and shit. So.
Found a few more cool things here. Here's a little thing about Vietnam. Me and Rocky, we missed it. We were just a little bit too young to get to Vietnam. Thank God.
Oh, thank God. I missed it. Fuck,
yeah, right.
I joined because I thought it was still going on in 76, but it was over.
I think it ended in 72, right? My dad got to go to it. It was a blast.
No, 75 is when they pulled out.
They pulled out.
Because then that's when the Cambodian thing happened with the Khmer Rouge taking over, and they executed like all the intellectuals. It was a severe communist and radicals. Pretty crazy, man.
I did go to Iraq and Afghanistan as a contractor, and it to me it didn't seem like there was a war fucking going on. I didn't see no enemy most of the time, and I was in forward operating bases, combat operating bases.
Well, if you think about it, what they do is it's like almost on prescribed timelines. They are, people used to sacrifice their children, their firstborn, to Moloch.
Mm-hmm.
And now they sacrifice their sons and daughters to Moloch on a battlefield. They're still their sons and daughters. It's not quite the innocence that they wish for with a child, but it's a blood ritual. Absolutely is. And it keeps everybody distracted, It's an opportunity for chaos and change, ordo ab chaos,
I thank God I didn't kill anybody, imagine going to a war and killing people and coming back and finding out the whole thing was fake.
Who said what if they threw a war and nobody came?
Yeah.
Was that Oscar Wilde? I think it was. Anyway, check this out. This is pretty good.
So what if I told you that the Vietnam War was started with a lie, and that the phrase conspiracy theorist was actually invented by the CIA to shut people up who figured out about it? Let's talk about how the government gaslit an entire generation into war and then smeared anybody who questioned it. In 1964, President Lyndon B. Johnson told the American public that a U.S. ship called the USS Maddox had been attacked by North Vietnamese forces in the Gulf of Tonkin. Except for that second attack, it never happened. No, not like maybe didn't happen, like definitely didn't happen. It was a complete fabrication. But that didn't stop Congress from passing the Gulf of Tonkin resolution, which essentially gave Johnson a blank check to escalate the war in Vietnam. So by 1968, we had over 500,000 troops in Vietnam. We were carpet bombing villages, spraying chemical weapons like Agent Orange, and millions of Vietnamese citizens based on a lie. So here's the part that they don't teach you about in school. After France lost its colonial war in Vietnam, the US stepped in, ignored international agreements, and installed this dictator in the South. He was so corrupt and brutal that even the Vietnamese people fucking hated this guy. And when nationwide elections were planned to unify the country, elections Ho Chi Minh was guaranteed to win, we backed out. We canceled. No democracy for you, baby. So we didn't just join the Vietnam War. We escalated, provoked, and manipulated our way into it. Now here's where it gets even a little bit darker. As thousands of soldiers and anti-war protests exploded across the US, people started asking questions, you know? Like, why were we even in Vietnam? Why were the poor drafted while the rich got deferments? And why did the government lie about the Gulf of Tonkin? And the CIA, they were not about to lose that narrative, let me tell you. So in 1967, they wrote a classified memo, CIA Dispatch number 1035-960. It was a propaganda guide that was sent to journalists and foreign operatives on how to low-key discredit anybody speaking out against this shit, especially when people were asking too many questions around the JFK assassination. This memo wanted to call these people conspiracy theorists, because that term didn't really exist before then. And then it was weaponized to shame critical thinkers, equating questioning the government with being absolutely unhinged, batshit crazy out of your mind. Oh, and it worked. Think about that for a second. The Vietnam War was escalated with a provable lie, sustained by media propaganda, and shielded by a weaponized insult that's still used today. Conspiracy theorists back then didn't mean crazy, it just meant somebody who wasn't buying the government's bullshit. And honestly, the people that they were calling crazy were fucking right. So next time somebody says, well, the government would never do that, just remind them that they already did. And they made sure that you would be too embarrassed to say anything about it. And if you think this is fucking crazy, just wait till you hear what we did in Panama. Follow for more deep dives. They don't want you to know.
Yeah, good, man. Listen, this is for real too, because this is.
So what if I told?
This has been that's one of many fucking things like that they have run on us. And guys, it's looking like I'm coming to the close of the show tonight. But yeah, I mean, everywhere. All these psyops, everything being a lie. Trump getting shot in the air, that's a fucking lie. Charlie Kirk getting assassinated, that's a lie. Going to the moon this year, that's a lie. Of course, they're going to kick that down the fucking road again. They'll kick that can down the road and just keep kicking it down the road and keep trying to sell this spaceship. But the problem is there's too many of us that are rolling out of here. We're getting ready to roll, moonbounds. There's too many of us out here that are waking up and realizing the bullshit. You know, I talk to more and more people that are on to the idea of what's happening and how fucked up shit really is.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. That's, I think, and I think it started in 1776 with the Statue of Liberty celebrating the loosing of Satan out of the pit, and we're in Satan's little season. Eschatology. I really believe that. And the Schofield Bible was, from the 1800s, and that's brought on Zionism. The whole state was brought on by a false eschatology of futurism.
Yeah.
And our history is a big fucking lie. And
a lot of it. All of it, basically. All right, guys, I want to thank y'all for coming up tonight. And as I said before, I'm sorry to everyone who was timed out like that unnecessarily. It's not going to happen again, at least from that account. I don't know what was really going on there, but wow, I should have been paying more attention to the chat. I was looking at it right here, but it didn't tell me anything about what was going on over on YouTube. So that's a bit mysterious. Leave a comment if you are like blocked or something in this video, and if I see it, tell me in the comment that you've been blocked, and I will check on here to make sure that you are not, or you are if you need to be, but most people don't need to be. We got a pretty good group here, and like I said before, I want to thank everybody that helped me out over this last week. It's been fantastic. You guys don't know how much stress you took off of me, and I'm feeling pretty good. So hopefully I'll be able to get back to some work or something here. See what's going on. I don't even know. I think the guy I work with, he's got to go in for knee surgery now. I don't know. This is fucking crazy. But anyway, I'll work out something. Thanks everybody for coming. You're one of the best groups of people I've seen in a long, long time. Thank you so much. Everybody that came up, Roger, Moonbounce, Rocky, Snowman was here. We had others that pop in, and hopefully that fellow will get his audio worked out, and we'll be able to have him come on, because it's good that if somebody's interested, that you can able to. That's one of the gifts I have, is I'm able to put things into a perspective that somebody can actually kind of understand without trying to web your mind up with a whole bunch of complicated shit. Let's just take it for what it is. All right. Well, don't forget, We always like to say, don't forget the Lord loves the working man. Don't trust Whitey. See your doctor and get rid of him, because listen, it's just compartmentalized fucking medicine where they treat a symptom and not a patient. Fire those motherfuckers. And if you heard the shot, it probably wasn't meant for you. We'll see you next time on Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. Good night, everybody.